Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and new active at the Midland Community Center.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. Good morning, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show here on a Tuesday. Hope everyone was well rested, because last night was a late one for all you diehard baseball fans out there. 18 innings, Game 3 of the World Series, and if you didn't believe it already, even more reason to believe it. Now we are watching the greatest baseball player in the history of the sport. It's no disrespect to Barry Bonds. It's no disrespect to Babe Ruth, McGwire, like whoever you want to bring up. I'm not really sure anybody compares to Shohei Ohtani, who reached a total of 7 times yesterday. No, that number's wrong. It's 9. Kyle's jumping in early saying I'm wrong. It's 9 times. I don't know what to make of this guy. He's putting up numbers that are so unbelievable that we talk about it pre-show. We establish it's 9, and my brain just can't even allow me to say it.
Yeah, no way it's 9.
Yeah,
right?
There's no way this guy reached 9 different times. No, sure enough, he did. 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 4 of them were intentional. I think I'm out of words for this guy. It's not a generational player. It's not a once-in-a-lifetime player. It's a once-in-5 lifetimes player. There is no comparison for what this guy is doing. He has reached a point where his second home run of yesterday's game, I had no reaction. They're hammering the broadcast crew like, hey, this has got to be painted perfectly. You can't give him something to hit. If you do, he's going to punish you. And sure enough, first pitch, he just sends it over the wall in Dodger Stadium, and I had no reaction. I was like, yep, that makes sense. I wasn't excited. I wasn't shocked. I was like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Of course he's going to hit 2 home runs today. He's Shohei Ohtani. And then today, after 18 innings last night, playing at basically 3 in the morning Eastern time, he's going to be pitching tonight in the World Series. I'm at a loss for words to this guy, and I know a lot of people hate the Dodgers, but I don't know how you can't appreciate what we're watching in Shohei on a game-to-game basis on the biggest stage of them all. He's doing stuff that nobody's ever done before in every single aspect of the game.
I can't believe it. I mean, you talk about the 4 for 4. It's not like he went 4 for 4 with 3 singles and a double. You know, he went 4 for 4, all extra base hits, 2 bombs, 2 doubles. And then obviously the strategy from the Blue Jays to just, you know what, after giving up that second home run, what's the point of pitching to this guy? Here's the issue. You walk Shohei Ohtani, you got Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman facing you right after. And the fact that is still the decision, that they continue to walk him when you have 2 Hall of Fame players following him up in the lineup that have been really good in the postseason, especially Freeman. The fact that they're still just doing that decision just goes to show how good that Ohtani is, right?
His intentional walk in the 9th inning when the bases were empty was the second time in World Series history that a team was willing to do that. Nobody on.
Nobody on.
Nobody on. It's just like, yeah, take your base.
Crazy.
So that was the second time. And then the third and fourth time happened in the 11th and 15th inning because they once again decided, we don't really care if nobody's on. We just can't allow this guy to dictate the outcome of this game anymore. And then his last walk, which wasn't an intentional walk in the scorebooks, they had no intention to pitch to him at all. Now he's reaching, like, you tell me which one of these is the most impressive, because it feels like every game that he plays, he's doing something that nobody's ever done before. First player in postseason history to have 3 multi-home run games. Did another one last night in the World Series. First player in playoff history to go 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 2 doubles. 8 home runs in October ties the Dodgers' playoff record. Some all-time greats have played for that organization. 4 extra base hits in the World Series ties a record. Again, it's stuff that you truly have to. It's must-see television. And the fact that we have a multiple of these guys actively playing in their each profession, whether it's Wemby or honestly, like, you can throw Mahomes into that conversation. He's not as like special as Shohei or Wemby is, but still, like, up there as one of the greatest football players of all time. But Shohei's, I think he's on a different level. Like, we can talk about who the best player in each sport is. If we're talking all sports, who is head and shoulders just better than everyone else in their respective sport, the gap between Shohei and the second best player in baseball is the biggest gap between the best athlete and the second best athlete in their sport, maybe in my lifetime. Maybe LeBron back in his, like, prime days with Miami, but I don't know. The Shohei thing, being able to play 2 ways, is, I don't think there's a comparison for it.
Well, that's the thing. You just talked about which stat of these is most impressive, and it's all offensive stats. Add in the fact that this guy's pitching today.
Yeah.
You know, like that just didn't even get included into this. That's so if we're even just taking what he's done offensively in this playoffs, he's the best player in the league. And then you add in the fact that the last time he was out there, he threw 10 strikeouts, 6 scoreless. Like, are we going to get that again today? If we do, that'd be insane because they were up playing till 3 in the morning last night. And have another game today.
And I have no reason to be like, I don't think it can happen. You know,
Right.
Science, logistics say no. I don't know, man. I'm just going to ride on the Shohei Ohtani train until it goes down, and I don't think it's going down anytime soon. So I don't know why he wouldn't have a great game today. He's Shohei Ohtani. He's not from this planet, and I think yesterday was a perfect example of that. Which the funny thing is, when someone hits a walk-off in the walk-off home run in the 18th inning of a World Series game, usually that person ends up being the star. We haven't even brought up his name. Freddie Freeman ends up winning the Dodgers Game 3 of the World Series yesterday with a walk-off in the 18th, and he's somehow not even the biggest storyline coming out of the game because of the Shohei Ohtani performance. And I think it's rightful. Like, I don't think we're disrespecting anyone by prioritizing talking about Shohei, because we are talking about what is I believe undebatably at this point, the greatest baseball player ever. Ever. And he's still in his prime. It's not like he's on the back end of it. He is peaking right now. And for him to be on the mound today, you know what, Kyle? I'm deeming it must-watch television. If you like sports, you have to watch tonight. There's no exceptions.
Yeah.
There's no football. There's some basketball on, but the Pistons don't play. I know the Wings play tonight, but I'm deeming it a must-watch. You have to watch it if you say you like baseball.
I mean, last night was must-watch television. The issue is the must-watch part of it happened at 3 in the morning. You know, at 2:50. Like, this game went 6 hours and 40 minutes.
I would be lying if I said I stayed up for it.
What percent of people that watch sports on the East Coast or just Eastern time zone do you think actually watch this whole game?
I tried to.
It couldn't
I was
be
watching
many
in
at
my
all.
bed with my phone.
There's no way anyone listening to this show stayed up for the whole thing, right?
Ooh.
I mean, that is so late.
That's a good question.
It's nearly 3 a.m. this game was on till our time.
The two people talking on the show couldn't even stay up until the
It's
end of
almost
it.
7 hours long. Like, it was truly one of the longest baseball games ever, especially for the postseason.
Second longest one in postseason history?
Yeah.
I think I read.
Second time we've gone 18 innings in the postseason, yeah.
Yeah, Red Sox and, was it Dodgers? Red Sox, Dodgers
I think
in
they have to
2018?
change that thing. I like your proposed idea of after a couple extra innings, add the guy on second base, the extra base runner.
Or even, like, you can ease into it. It's like, hey, first 2 innings are totally normal. In the 11th inning, we're going to put a runner on first just to maybe boost someone. I know the double play is still there. And then in the 12th inning, we're actually just going to put the ghost runner on second base because we can't have that happen anymore.
I think it's a good idea.
I know it's epic. It goes 18 innings. It's going to go down in the history books. I don't know how anyone in the East Coast is supposed to
And there's
stay
no
up and
way the
watch that
players are like, that was awesome. Like, now we get to play again.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's no way that, like, obviously it's
14
cool
hours
for the
later.
moment. And the home run for Freddie Freeman, that's going to be remembered forever.
No,
but
it's only cool to write stories about. Like, the writers, their stories will live on forever. I obviously, it goes without saying, no one actually wanted it to go 18 innings.
Right. I mean, even when you think about when the Tigers-Mariners were playing in the 15th.
Oh, I just
like,
wanted it to be
got to
done.
a point where it was like, dude, I just want this game to be over. And it's Game 5, elimination game. Like, and I'm like, can this game just end? That's crazy to think about. So
Well, that was different because it's like, I want it to be over
that
because
was
I'm
also-
tired, and B, I want it to be over because I'm being tormented. This
Right,
is like
yeah.
an actual form of self-torture, watching this Tigers team. I can't
point.
imagine being a Dodgers fan out here, and I'm sure there's some people in the area that are diehard Dodgers fans
For
with
sure.
the loons in
It's gotta
town.
be.
So I would say there's got to be some people that stayed up for this. I attempted to. I really did. I'm watching it in my bed with my phone, and I think I just woke up at like 3:30 in the morning with a post game on with John Smoltz, who sat right here on this chair a couple of years ago, and that was that. I was like, what happened? I found out at like 4 in the morning, went back to bed. I was like, can't wait to talk about this.
To your point about this being must-see TV, with the sports equinox happening last night.
Yeah, got lost in the shuffle.
This became the only thing that was on my TV. You know, like I was rocking the dual box with the Pistons on my laptop for most of the night with football and baseball, and then watching Pistons. And by the end of the night, I only had baseball on. The football game is still on.
Yeah,
There's
because it was
NBA
3 in
games
the
still
morning.
on. No, but I'm even talking like when it was 10:30, 11 o'clock, like before the football game was over. I didn't care. The game was over, and I'm like, this baseball game is awesome. I want to watch this. I don't need to watch basketball. I just want to watch this game. And so that's how awesome this game was, how awesome Ohtani was. This has been a great World Series, man. For the people that say, oh, the Dodgers, they're ruining baseball, it's
awesome.
completely false. Like, they actually make it so fun. And last night was proof of that.
Once Mahomes got me enough fantasy points to win my matchup is when I turned off the Chiefs game.
The game was ugly.
Yeah, the Commanders.
I mean, even
what
early,
a
like
season
Mahomes
from hell.
throws a couple picks early on that weren't really his fault.
No, Kelsey one was bad.
Right.
We talk about the Ravens having the season from hell. The Commanders are the NFC team that are having the season from hell. Really, it's the Niners, but the Niners have survived all their injuries and have still somehow put together a nice record. The Commanders have, what a disappointing season they've had. I do want to bring up before we move on to some more regional stuff. Vladdy is spectacular. And if they end up losing this series, the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers go back-to-back, I don't want it to be forgotten how awesome Vlad Guerrero was in these playoffs. He feels one of the most unstoppable, built-for-October guys we can possibly imagine. And him scoring in the 7th inning, avoiding the tag, and then standing up and just basically puffing his chest out, walking back to the dugout, had me amped up in my apartment at, I don't know what time that had to have been, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. He is built for the postseason, and I hope he gets one eventually, but I don't think it's going to be this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
989-837-6125. The Pistons, wow, they took a big, fat L yesterday, right after we gassed him up. So, game one, I'm all disappointed in them, and then they prove me wrong and win 2 straight. Then I'm all happy with them, and then they lay the biggest egg of the year. Let's hit that when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt here on a Tuesday. As always, the Ben Bosscher Show is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Into the end zone. The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm right there, coming.
Trick or treat.
Hello, children. I'm sorry. I forgot to go buy candy this year. Hey, don't be rude, okay? I'm forgetful. You're just mean. Now, hold on. I do have these 8x10 glossies of Bill Simonson and Anthony Bellino. Happy Halloween from the Great Lake Basin's home for sports. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. The 9 o'clock hour, as always, here on the Ben Bosscher Show is brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses while they need strong tech, and that's where Iron Stack comes in. Locally owned in Midland, they keep your IT rock solid from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone to your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop or growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technologies, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward. Pistons moved backwards last night. After two really strong games, one against the Celtics in which they dominated the glass defensively, all the good stuff, all the hustle stats in favor of the Pistons in that one Sunday, and a gut-wrenching, not even a gut-wrenching, but like a hard-fought victory, a gritty, tough win on Friday night against the Rockets. I was feeling pretty good about this team, and then Cleveland came to town last night and took the Pistons, grabbed them by the shirt, lifted them up, and just ragdolled them for 48 minutes. That was one of the worst losses the Pistons have had in quite some time. It felt like it was going to be, right from the jump, ugly, because the Pistons have gotten off to all these bad starts in these games, even going back to game number 1 against Chicago when the Bulls just rolled them early. It felt like one of those. You think to yourself, maybe they can fight back into it because that's what they've done every game so far, and that wasn't the case. They never fought their way back into it, and it was ugly right from the jump. It was ugly in the middle, and it was ugly at the end. The lack of another ball handler other than Cade Cunningham, once again, was on full display last night. And that seems to be a real problem for the Pistons. And I know we touched on this last week, and it wasn't as much of an issue against the Rockets and the Celtics. However, it was a pretty blatant issue last night against this Cavs team who brings a ton of defense to the table. If Cade's not being a superstar, which he certainly has not been, and we'll get into that in a second, it feels like this team's going to have a very hard time scoring, even with Asar Thompson taking that step forward and Ron Holland being a little bit more of a threat to shoot and Isaiah Stewart shooting 50% from the outside. Them not having someone to initiate the offense when Cade's not out there is pretty detrimental to this team right now.
Well, and I think it's especially detrimental last night because we've talked about how that's been the biggest concern with this Pistons team this year, and we've recognized that, and the Cavs for sure recognize that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, from the jump, it was like, we're not even going to allow Cade to get the basketball. They're denying him the ball, off ball, insanely hard. We are letting everyone else shoot. I mean, every time Ron Holland caught the ball on the wing, it was just we don't care. You want to let it fly, go for it. And they were like that with a lot of guys other than Duncan Robinson, essentially. So it's tough when these other defenses start to realize the weaknesses of this Pistons team. I still think that at some point, like, even just getting Marcus Sasser back is going to help just alleviate some pressure because it takes away some of the minutes from a Dennis Jenkins or when Karis LeVert returns to this lineup as well. But, yeah, to me, the Cade stuff hasn't been as concerning strictly because it's very easy to recognize this team has zero creation and just ball handling ability outside of Cade right now. So it's easy for defenses to just from the jump hone in on Cade and make everybody else do something.
Well, yesterday with Cade, they weren't even allowing him to bring the ball up the floor. They were denying him from underneath the basket, and then it led to Jalen Duren or Isaiah Stewart bringing the ball up the floor, sometimes Tobias Harris.
Turnovers.
What do you expect when that happens, though? Like, I love Stu, I love Duren, but those guys can't bring the ball up the floor. Duren can be a little bit of a hub, 15 feet from the basket, and run some offense through him, and he can rack up some assists that way, or play a little one-on-one when he's that close. But when he has to bring the ball up 94 feet, you're asking for turnovers to happen, and he was trying to do way too much instead of just slow the game down. He was trying to push the ball because that's how the Pistons want to play. Same with Isaiah Stewart, and it just led to some of the ugliest turnovers you can possibly see, something that has riddled the Pistons here for the last year and a half. And the Cade stuff at this point, we're 4 games in, and he just hasn't looked very good. Like, let's just be quite frank with it. He's looked good in some of the fourth quarters of these games. He's taken a while to get going in the first 3. And then last night he was like, you know what, I'm going to insert myself early. But he was really bad. He started the game 1 for 10. He couldn't finish at the rim. So, yeah, they were denying him, but he was attempting to get himself going, and it felt like it was hurting the team more than it was helping the team in some ways.
Right, but I also think, like, them not having anyone else is the main reason behind this. Like, I don't think it's just Cade has been off to a slow start just because of his ability or just shots aren't falling. Like, I think just the tax that has been put on him. I mean, you look at the minutes that he's playing so far this season as well, strictly because there's no other guards to play. He's playing nearly 40 minutes every game. That's unsustainable. You know, he's a guy that obviously should be in the mid-30s range, around 35, which is still high, but not when we get in this north 30s numbers to the 40s, especially with the stretches that he has to play. You know, you're playing basically the whole first quarter, and then the terrible lineup that they put out to start the second quarter every time.
Awful.
It's like, man, we got to get Cade in immediately, or else we're going to be down by 20 in an instant. And last night they were, and they were unable to claw their way back out of it. So, yeah, I think it's a mix of, for sure, I agree that Cade hasn't been awesome to start the year. He could definitely knock down some more shots. But the defense is so easy to game plan against the Pistons offense right now for opposing teams, just because let's make anybody else do anything on this team and not be Cade, because right now there's just not a lot of options for Detroit. I'm not like super worried because they're going to get Ivy back at some point, but
when? That's the big issue. Like, we don't really know when that's happening.
And we are going to get the Duncan Robinson games for sure.
We're also going to get the games where he doesn't show up, and those feel like if he doesn't show up, it's you're not winning.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Like,
the games shouldn't come down to whether or not Duncan Robinson is making shots. That kind of speaks to the roster that you have.
But last year, a lot of the games came down to, can Malik Beasley be the hot guy off the bench? And he did it way more times than not. And we're not going to get that this year with Duncan Robinson. So, and I hate to keep bringing that up, but like even on the broadcast last night on Peacock,
they were hammering the Malik Beasley
They were
thing.
really bringing up the Malik Beasley stuff. But it's true. Like, he was just able to stop them from going on these ruts or these 5-minute stretches where there's no creators in the game. Like, if Beasley can just come in and knock down 3 threes, all of a sudden, like, we're just staying in a game.
Well, even Tim Hardaway Jr., too. It's like, that's just someone to space the floor. Right now, when they have Duncan Robinson to do that, but that is it. Like, they have guys that are capable of hitting threes, like Tobias Harris. And Ron Holland, like I said, is taking a step forward, but they're not guys that, like, truly space the floor in a way that either of those other guys that we mentioned were. Even Schroeder.
Yeah, exactly. And like, to the point of Duncan Robinson, it's putting more pressure on him as well.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times he is in the game, and he is the only guy that is like the main three-point shooter on the lineup. So he goes from a guy that, of course, he's been a high-volume three-point shooter his whole career, but when he's the only guy on the floor that they are trusting to shoot threes and they kind of need to manufacture threes, and he's the only guy that can do that, that puts a ton of pressure on him as well. So, yeah, right now just the situation for the Pistons isn't great as far as injury and rotations go. Once Ivy comes back, you really hope that things can pick up, but it also just feels like, I mean, we're not going to do trade talks this early into the season, but it's just like, it feels like they definitely need some pieces if they want to be back where they were last year.
I never would have imagined Jaden Ivey, who wasn't really a part of this run last year, would be this important to this basketball team. Like, Trajan Langdon put all his eggs in the basket of development of players, which I think Ron Holland, Asar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, who's probably past development at this point, but has added the three-point shot. Yeah, Duren. All those guys look better. Like, so hands down Trajan Langdon for bringing everybody back and not going all in to make a Lowry Markkanen trade or something. I think it was a good move. But in doing so, you're also putting all your eggs in like the Jaden Ivey basket as well, and really banking on him to come back and make an impact, because you let Schroeder, and you didn't let Beasley walk. That was kind of a different situation. But you let Tim Hardaway walk. You let Schroeder walk. And you said, hey, we're getting Jaden Ivey back. This is someone we believe in, or at least we think can provide that spark. Him not being there is really hurting the Pistons in a way that I never would have imagined going into the season.
Last year they were really good without him. You know, they were 10 games above 500 after they lost him last year, and so you thought that maybe they would at least be able to get out to a better start. But that's to the fact of, it's not the Jaden Ivey thing; it's a no Malik Beasley, no Dennis Schroeder thing.
Right.
And I think we talked about this in the offseason. Like, that was the Pistons' biggest move of the offseason. It was, hey, they're getting back Ivey. Like, it's not, they don't need to go trade or make a big splash because they're getting back Jaden Ivey, and that's a huge addition to this team. And they haven't had that addition yet so far, so we definitely need him to get healthy.
And I know the Pistons have this defensive identity. He certainly doesn't help that. And by the way, Cade last night, the defense that I know he didn't have a good offensive game, but the defense is just, I don't think there's a guard in the NBA that's better at protecting the rim than Cade. It's like once a game now he's chasing someone down in transition and getting a block. But, Ivey's going to hurt the defense. They need so much of a spark on offense that I don't know if it matters. Now, how they mix up the minutes, I think it's going to be really interesting, because is it Ron Holland's minutes that go down? Is it just simply cutting out a Dennis Jenkins out of the lineup? I don't know. But what we do know is we've never really had Cade, Asar, Ron, Ivey, Duren, Stu all healthy together. And that's you got to throw in Tobias in there too. Those guys have never played together. So the Pistons are going to have a lot to figure out. JB Bickerstaff's going to have a lot on his plate, but they need Ivy back more than we possibly could have imagined. 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9. The Pistons going to be on the move here soon. 2 more home games, though, in this homestand. They've got the Magic tomorrow and then the Mavericks on Saturday at 10 p.m. Oh, no, that's not at home. It's listed as a home game. You know where this one is?
Mexico City, right?
Mexico City.
Yes.
Saturday against the Mavs.
Let's go.
Against Cooper Flag. I just wish that wasn't at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that does kind of stink. But it's on Saturday night, you said?
Yeah, and we lose a home game because of it, too.
I mean, they get a bunch of them. It's more concerning to guys like Brad than us, you know?
Yeah. Still, though, I'd rather play the Mavericks at home. Like,
well, yeah,
we're not going to have any fans in Mexico City.
And it's like your one chance to go watch Cooper Flag, too, you know? Like, if you're Detroit, you know, because you're not going to host Dallas this year now.
I would imagine that's essentially an away game. Like, it's not going to be in Dallas's arena, but there's going to be all Mavs fans there, right?
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of tough.
2 national TV games for the Pistons this early on, though.
What network is that Saturday game on?
I'd have to look.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it out right in my notes right here. Peacock.
Nice.
Pistons on Peacock, man.
I wonder what people thought about the Peacock broadcast last night. They split up the color analysts. They put Austin Rivers on the Cavs bench, Robbie Hummel on the Pistons bench, Noah Eagle sitting all by himself. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, I thought it obviously could be a little bit tattered with, but I liked the idea.
I liked the idea, but I thought about it, and I was like, this is really just killing the idea of having a reporter, though.
Well, yeah, they didn't.
Like, you're just cutting a job.
They just didn't have a reporter, yeah.
Right, because both of the color guys were
just
serving
were
as
the reporters. Yeah,
as well.
They were just, like, talking about what happened in the timeout, which I thought, I mean, it was cool. Like, it definitely was an interesting idea. I like the creativity from Peacock.
I was a fan of the pregame with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady and Carmelo actually teaching basketball and explaining why the Pistons offense has struggled and how much pressure's on Cade, rather than just kind of, you know, making a joke of not being able to name, like, it's half the coaches in the league.
Who do they got even?
Yeah.
They need to step up.
I feel like we were actually learning about basketball in pregame, which was a big shakeup.
It was good, yeah.
Or rather than just calling guys soft.
It was a long pregame, too. Right, exactly.
Shaq, thank you.
Can't wait to get Michael Jordan's thoughts on load management tonight, by the way. That's coming tonight, man. I'm going to be tuned in for that.
989-837-6125. Pistons going to be on the move to Mexico on Saturday. If you're looking to move, meet Matt Smith of Modern Realty, redefining real estate with a fresh, modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you, cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth as possible. From cozy starter homes, luxury properties, they know how to find you the perfect fit. Trust the team that combines innovation and real-world know-how. That is Matt Smith of Modern Realty, and this is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad, 989-529-8167.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, you know. My mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, you know, my dad would always just, you know, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
At Scott Family Dental, we treat every patient like family because it's in our name. Our office culture is built on trust, comfort, and care, just like you'd want for your own loved ones. We don't sign contracts with insurance companies, so we can offer the highest quality dental care without compromise. That means your treatment is based on what's best for you, not an insurance plan. Scott Family Dental, compassionate care, lasting smiles.
Visit scottfamdental.com to schedule today.
When you want NFL football on the radio.
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
You know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins, the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. Happy Tuesday. Is everyone feeling okay after that Equinox yesterday? I felt a little overstimulated last night, I'm not going to lie. I had Chiefs, Pistons, World Series, and then a quad box going for the NBA. I was a little overstimulated.
There's a lot going on. No NHL on, though, even though it's an Equinox. Isn't that like the whole point?
Yeah, if the Wings were playing, that would have been different, but
Hey, our Penguins, though, they came up clutch.
They did. If Wemby would have scored 30 last night, Colin and I would be on a
Equinox
beach in
parlay
Cabo.
went 3 for 4. Like, that's not bad.
And the thing with the lowest odds, the only leg with minus odds, did not hit.
Wemby.
If Wemby would have scored 30, Kyle and I would be on a beach in Cabo right now.
Ooh. Yeah, we'd have John doing the show today. Solo.
He would be overstimulated doing the show solo. All right, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's get into the news, Ben. We kind of just touched on it a little bit, but let's talk about that Monday Night Football game last night. Chiefs versus Commanders. It was a dominant win by Kansas City. They take it 28-7 and continue to be atop the power rankings in most NFL rankings.
Yeah, we'll get to the Tuesday Tower coming up, but spoiler alert, I think the same team's going to be in that number one spot. Just a dominant win.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice is, like, crazy, right?
Yeah.
He's coming back from a torn
crazy.
ACL plus the suspension. He already, once again, looks like he's picking up right where he left off. It's so tough to float out like top 5, top 10 receivers because there's just so many talented guys, and guys like JSN are climbing the rankings, and Puka obviously at the top, near the top as well. But Rice is he just produces. They're lining him up in the backfield as a running back a couple times yesterday. Really fun stuff from Andy Reid and the Chiefs. They feel about as back as they've ever been.
Commander season over? Question mark. like what would you do? What would you give odds on Jaden Daniels just being shut down for the season?
No, I don't think that's happening.
You don't think
8-1?
He's gotten hurt 2 different times this year already.
I know, but you can't throw your season away before November. I mean, I guess we're hitting November.
I mean,
but
just
if they lose, they're on thin ice.
They're only 2 games out of a playoff spot, I guess. But
the NFC is it's such a hodgepodge.
What are their odds to make playoffs?
This.
What do you think their odds to make playoffs are?
You got it pulled up?
Yeah.
Plus 390.
Okay, that's a really good guess. Plus 410. Like, they're kind of a long shot to make the playoffs at this point.
I feel better about Dallas, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I do too. And Dallas has the technical better record than them because of the tie rather than a loss. So, yeah, it's a tough look right now for Washington. I mean, they've just been completely riddled by injuries, like you talked about.
We're really going to get back-to-back Eagles wins in the East. Won't it be the first time in like 3 decades that a team is?
It's since the early 2000s, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the NFC East just does not get repeated in. But it might happen. I wouldn't give it there yet. But yes, it probably will. Okay, tonight, Red Wings are back in action. They take on the St. Louis Blues, who lost to the Penguins yesterday in the Equinox Parlay. They're back in action at 8:15 tonight.
That's weird when the Wings play the same team twice in a row.
Yeah.
But that team has a game in between those.
Right.
You don't see that very often.
And this one's on the road as well.
Yeah, usually you just do the home and home. Like you play a team at home, then you go on the road and play them, or vice versa. That's a weird one. I don't know if I can ever remember that happening.
The weirdest ones are when they do it in the NBA, but it's just like the same team at home 2 games in a row. They'll do that every once in a while, like towards the end of the year.
On like a road trip.
The Pistons had one with the Bucks last year, where they just played the Bucks twice in a row at home.
And usually
really
it's a Western team, just because you don't want to.
Right, exactly.
That's odd.
But yeah, Wings Blues in action tonight at 8:15. All right, let's go to some more in-state news. Michigan and Sharon Moore have withdrew their appeals on the infractions case. Of course, this is the case that has Sharon Moore suspended for the first 2 games or not the first 2 games. For 2 games of this past season, and then the first game for next year against the team that shall not be named this week. And then, so obviously they still got hit with the fines that can total up to $30 million. They avoided the postseason ban, but of course, Sharon Moore's still suspended, and they're not going to try to fight it anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I have nothing else to say on this. It's been going on for 3 years. He's going to be suspended 1 more game for the Germany game next year against a team that plays in Kalamazoo. I got nothing else, guys. This thing has drained me for 3 years. I have nothing else to say about the scandal.
It could be over. It could be over.
I really hope so, man.
We know it's
I really
not,
hope
obviously, but like potential for it to be over this time around. We'll see. A little bit more on that baseball game from last night. Obviously, we talked about all the historic stuff that went down. But after the game, John Snyder, the Blue Jays manager, was asked about, what's the game plan as far as, you walked Ohtani 4 times, basically 5 intentional walks. And they said they plan to keep on walking him. So I'm interested to see what it looks like tonight. Like, are they just going to walk him every at-bat tonight, or is it just going to be late in the game? Or is it going to be, if there's anybody on base at all, we're just going to walk him? I don't know. But they said he quote said it became our identity late in that game to just walk Ohtani. What if they literally walk him every time today when he bats? Be unreal.
I think that might be the smart thing to do.
Yeah. They also dealt with an injury last night. The Blue Jays did. George Springer, their star outfielder, exited with an oblique injury. They're awaiting MRI results, but he's gotten drilled by a ton of pitches in this playoffs, and it's clearly taking a toll on him. They obviously are going to need him. So we'll keep you updated on the status of George Springer. They're playing again tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox. Tune in for Game 4.
Deal.
Travis Kelce last night tied the Chiefs' touchdown mark with his 83rd touchdown as a Chief. It's tied with Priest Holmes for the most ever scored by a Chief. So 1 more, he'll break that all-time record. Seems right. It seems like a record that Travis Kelce should probably own.
Yeah, he also had not a drop, but something that should have been a drop to him, or an interception credited to him, because it goes to Mahomes. I lose 2 fantasy.
Cares, man?
I do, because I lost 2 fantasy points. I'm sweating this thing out.
Mahomes should have threw a better pass.
It was right in his hands. Look, I want Mahomes to win this MVP if Jared Goff's not going to win it, and he's not going to. For the same reason I want Ohtani to have all the success that he does.
Right.
I like rooting for greatness. We can't have these interceptions being added to his resume at the end of the season. And now Kelsey's done this twice, once week 1 and once last night, where it's hit him right in the hands and it bobbles off his hands and somebody else on the defense catches it and it goes down as an interception from Mahomes. We gotta figure this out. There needs to be like QB interceptions and just turnovers that don't get credited to the quarterback. Those should be 2 different stats.
I disagree. It's an interception at the end of the day. Okay, let's do a couple more injury news here, and then we'll save the rest for later. Vikings obviously are taking on the Lions this week. It sounds like J.J. McCarthy is going to be the quarterback because it's for sure not going to be Carson Wentz, who out of nowhere is going to go under season-ending shoulder surgery, Ben. I guess I don't want to say out of nowhere. He wore that ginormous robotic cast the other day and then clearly re-injured himself multiple times in that game with the shoulder. So he's done for the season. It sounds like him and his wife are going to have a baby this week, too. So he's going to get the surgery as soon as that is over with.
So this is making the J.J. McCarthy sitting on the bench thing even more suspicious, right?
Like the fact that Carson Wentz was playing with a broken shoulder.
Essentially, yeah.
Something that needed
J.J.'s like,
surgery.
I still can't play. You go out there. You do your best.
Or was it Kevin O'Connell saying even an injured Carson Wentz is better than J.J. McCarthy?
I think we're about to find out a lot this week when the Lions and Aiden Hutchinson are getting after J.J.
With that big spread as well. I know we're going to get into that. Last thing here, Lamar Jackson, he is expected to return against the Miami Dolphins. That game is on Thursday night, and if you can, of course, listen to it right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
Boom. That's the news. All right, our Tuesday Tower when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. The Midland Area Community Foundation is dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity and connection, supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play. Your donations help fund vital programs in education, health, the arts, and more right here at home. Partner with the foundation and leave a lasting legacy and create positive change for generations to come. Get involved, give back, and learn more at midlandareacf.org. Together we build a stronger Midland, one gift, one idea, and one heart at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home, but for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want. Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m., thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, a tradition here on Tuesdays. Let's do it. It is the Tuesday Tower. Go ahead and throw the graphic up, Kyle. We've got a lot to get to today. But ironically, there's not a single change in the Tuesday Tower this week. It's the first time that there is no change. Green Bay definitely threatening to get on. I'll at least acknowledge them. But it was a fraudulent Steelers team. I don't think the Steelers are very good. So cool, you scored 35 on them. Really bad defense. Not quite enough to for me to put them on the tower, despite them being the number 1 seed in the NFC. I feel better about all these other NFC teams right now. Seattle, Tampa Bay. Let me just run through the tiers. It's the exact same as last week. Bottom tier, maybe contenders, but not quite positive. Tampa Bay, Denver, Patriots, Seattle. The second tier, true contenders. Rams, Eagles, Bills, the Bullies, the second to top tier. The Lions and the Colts. And then the top tier is the super scary tier, the Kansas City Chiefs. When all the favorites keep winning, it's kind of hard for there to be a ton of movement here on the tower. The favorites have lost like 4 games in the last 2 weeks. So not a ton to say about the changes on the Tuesday Tower this week, unfortunately. I wish there was. I wish there was some more upsets and there was some more parity, but that's just not the way that this is going right now.
The one change I think I would maybe consider making, actually there's 2 changes. I think there's an argument to be made for both Philly or Buffalo to be over Indianapolis in the Bullies tier. I understand Indianapolis has done, everything they're supposed to do. They just destroy the bad teams. But I think that there's a case to be made for both Philly and Buffalo to be moved back up. And the big one that I think
both of those teams lost 2 games in a row, by the way.
Not currently.
Not currently, but like within the last month.
I mean, you were the one that was talking about Philly's back.
I know. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with Indy. All they do is destroy teams.
No, you're right.
So I feel like bullies
that's
the right
one
tier.
It is. They are bullies. I mean, they had the highest point differential in the NFL by
a lot,
50 points more than any other team.
Yeah, it's the Lions from last year because the Lions are sitting at plus 64. That is the second most. Third most because the Patriots are plus 67. And then the Colts are plus.
How much are they plus?
6-7. And then the Colts are plus 116 point differential.
Yeah.
They whoop on all these teams. They're bullies. That's what they are.
Colts' remaining schedule is going to be a real test of how good they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is when it starts. They go at Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs, Texans. The back half is even tougher. They still play the Texans again. The Seahawks in there. The Niners are in there. So we're going to really find out how good the Colts are. But, yeah, I think that's fine. The one that I actually think I would change, though.
Chargers?
No, but because who are they replacing? That's my only thing. I'm still the guy that's like, let's wait to put the Patriots on until they actually, like, beat a team that can, like, maybe be any good.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's there.
They've got Tampa this week, right? Or no, next week because I think Tampa's on the bye.
Yes, Tampa is on the bye. The one thing that I would change, and this is kind of just one of those tough situations where a team falls victim to the bye, I think I would move Denver and the Rams. I think I would swap them. I think that the Rams, and it's not like a dig to them, I just feel like the Rams and Seattle belong together, just with the way that both of those teams have looked. I'm really high on the Rams as well. I'm with you. I think that they are the favorite to win that division, but I think the Seahawks and Rams belong in the same tier, and with what Denver did the last 2 weeks now, I understand it took some crazy comeback against the Giants. They still scored 30 points in the fourth quarter. This offense has come alive. Like, it's something that I didn't really suspect. So I think I would move them up to the true contenders tier with Philly and Buffalo and move down the Rams. The Rams didn't do anything to lose their spot. It's just what Denver has done.
No, the thing with the Rams, however, is, and I know some people won't like me saying this, but they do have a pedigree to them. I trust their quarterback and
coach. They have a Super Bowl
coach
winning quarterback, yeah.
a lot more than I trust Sam Darnold. Like, I know Sam Darnold's been great this year. Cool, he was great for 16 games last year until that big game, last 2 games of the year, last regular season game, and then the playoff game. He was just pretty bad. And you can make the same thing that's going to happen in the Colts at some point with Daniel Jones, but like we've seen this happen with Sam Darnold in the last year, which just makes me nervous. I trust the Stafford infrastructure a little bit more. That's the reason I have them higher. I think if I was going to choose one team in each conference to kind of be looming, it would be the Packers and the Chargers. But again, I don't know who
truly is so like.
Who's their good win? It's the Lions.
It's just who's their good win. I mean, like they just had a pretty good win on Sunday night, man.
The Steelers have never been on this list.
They went on the road and dominated the Steelers. Like
yeah, that's great. The Steelers have never made the Tuesday Tower.
Sure,
I've never once considered them a top 10 team. So I don't think it's that great of a win. It's a fine win.
I get that. The Packers are also the only team in the NFC with 1 loss.
I get it.
It's kind of crazy they're not like. Trust me, I hate the Packers as much as you do. Maybe even a little more. But the fact they're not on here is crazy.
Who would you take off? Tampa?
New England or Tampa? Tampa got exposed by the Lions.
Yeah, they did, but they were also dealing with a ton of injuries. You're right. If I was going to put Green Bay on, I think Tampa would be the last team. I think Tampa's the last team on this tier right now. But I do think, if you just look at the NFC standings in general, like it's starting to separate itself a little bit. Because you have the teams that you feel good about. Because we said for a long time
it kind of feels like the 7 playoff teams are like in a solid spot right now.
Yeah, because you've got
with Atlanta being that team on the outside looking in, I would say.
Right, Green Bay and the Lions from the north. You've got Philly that's going to take the east. Tampa, you assume, is going to take the south, and then
all 3 teams from the west.
Yeah, all 3 teams from the west, and then maybe that 7th spot is up for grabs with. Maybe Dallas can get hot. Maybe Atlanta can turn a corner.
But San Francisco has a lead on all those teams right now for that 7th spot.
Right.
So it's like I said, Atlanta I think is that 8th team looking in, and then you said, you have Dallas. I don't think anyone is taking Carolina seriously by any means.
No.
Minnesota still has a shot for sure if JJ can really look good.
And Chicago, I think I'm good on Chicago.
I think Minnesota has a much better chance than Chicago does, despite a 1-game difference between the two.
Yeah, it feels like there's finally some clear, hey, these are the good teams,
right?
Rather than we don't know who's good. We
Especially
finally know who's
with
good.
Washington and Dallas both picking up losses this week. That kind of showed a little bit.
And then in the AFC, I still don't think it's really been determined who the playoff teams are going to be. And I still think we have a long way to figure that out because we've got the Colts are going to be in there, New England, and then I don't know. It just gets pretty messy after that.
There's going to be a bad team in the playoffs, and whoever wins the AFC North will be 9-8. Steelers.
I think it's the Ravens.
I'm just saying they'll go 9-8 though.
Oh. All right. We'll get back to that in a little bit. 989-837-9930. 6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, the Lions, they're getting healthy going into Week 9 against this Minnesota Vikings team. Just how healthy are they getting? Well, we got a little update from Dan Campbell from some of the guys that have been on IR that are making their return this week. We'll give that update when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it!
100.9 The Mitt.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). Hour number 2, the 10 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Corning here on the Ben Bosscher Show. Hey, we got some updates from MCDC yesterday regarding some guys that have been injured that are going to be coming back at least to practice this week. The first of those, Malcolm Rodriguez. Sounds like he's going to be practicing this week off IR. First time all season he's going to be practicing after tearing the ACL last year to get back a special teams guy, to get back your fourth linebacker. Important for the Lions in terms of, especially with Zach Cunningham out, in terms of goal line looks, 3rd and 1 type of defense. Look at some of these teams coming up on the schedule that really like to run the football, like the Eagles. Having a guy like that, I think, is pretty versatile. As a linebacker, being able to come back, I think makes the defense, obviously, better when you have reserves as good as Malcolm Rodriguez. Terrion Arnold also plans on practicing this week. He was limited last week and then 2 weeks ago didn't end up playing with the bye week. You expect Terrion Arnold to be out there and make his return, hopefully, this week against Minnesota as well. Obviously, his work will be cut out for him with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison running around out there. So getting those two guys back, look, this defense has been up and down. They give up a lot of yards, but they get after the quarterback. They stuff you on the run game. The Legion of Whom had a pretty good outing a couple weeks back. Now I think it's time to get the starters back and turn this into a top 5 defense, a top 10 defense, like we suspected it could be at the beginning of the season. Now that Aleem McNeil's back, now that we're getting some of the secondary guys back, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph should also, be back. Kirby Joseph, more so a question mark than Brian Branch because he was out just because of the suspension. But Joseph, you hope his knee is back to 100%. And suddenly I think the Lions at full strength for the first time all season. Still no DJ Reed, but could look like a defense that can shut down another team's offense. And going up against a genius like Kevin O'Connell this week, I think it's going to be a really good test, even with a rookie quarterback in there. Rookie, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't played very much. I think that to our point that we discussed when the Legion of Whom game happened, it was like, for us to expect that to happen again, as far as all of those guys playing as great as they did, seems unrealistic. But it also seems unrealistic for us to think that's ever going to happen again. That every single starting secondary player is going to be out. We know for sure that Brian Branch is going to be back, which that's the number one most important thing because, Brian Branch wasn't even injured. He was just out due to the suspension. So 1,000% Brian Branch is going to be back, which is huge. And then you add in the fact that you hope at least Kirby Joseph is going to be back because it seemed like they could have pushed it to the limit and sent him out there for that Tampa Bay game, but there was no point when the entire secondary was already hurt and you have the bye week after. Let's get him healthy. So you assume that at least the best safety duo in the NFL is going to be back out there, which that in itself should make you feel pretty good because the weakest point of the secondary this season, starting-wise, has been Terrion Arnold. And so if he's the one guy that you can't quite bring back this week, obviously DJ Reed is not eligible to come back yet this week, potentially the game after. I think that you feel pretty good about this team when you have that rotating door of Nick Whiteside and all these other random guys that might be able to get run on that outside spot with Amik Robertson still out there who has just been – you see he did the podcast with St. Brown this week. Pretty good stuff.
Amik Robertson?
Yes, he was on the St. Brown podcast. It was pretty good. He's an entertaining guy, man. But, yeah, I think that at least that safety duo being back definitely makes you feel great against a, like you said, inexperienced quarterback – returning back to Michigan and J.J. McCarthy.
So let's throw this out there, though. Let's say Terrion Arnold goes out there and it's more of the same from what we've seen. Just some disappointing stuff, giving up big plays, a lot of holding calls, and it's just not a good game once again. Now that we've seen a guy like Nick Whiteside go out there and ball out with a healthy defensive line with Aleem McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson causing mayhem, this is pretty much it for Terrion Arnold, right?
Pretty much it. I think that's a little bit of a stretch,
right? You kind of have to start performing now because now you're kind of out of excuses, right? Like the backup guys balled out when you were out. The defensive line is there and causing pressure on the quarterback, so that's no longer an excuse that they can't get home. It's somewhat of a make-or-break game for them, right? Like we kind of have to see it come together here rather quickly. Otherwise, it's like, okay, why are we investing so much playing time into a guy who's never really performed? And I'm the biggest TA defender. I think the Lions ask more of their corners than anybody, but I mean, they asked a ton of Nick Whiteside, right? And he came through. I'm not saying he's just better than Terrion Arnold, but at what point do you have to kind of circle Terrion Arnold and be like, I don't know if this is a long-term answer here. Because I don't think that's ever been brought up. He's always been locked in as the cornerback 1 or cornerback 2.
Right, which is fair. You draft him in the first round. You traded up for him.
Yeah, he's been a starter since the second he walked on the field.
There's a long history of these young first-round cornerbacks coming into the NFL and being really good right away. So I think that especially when DJ Reed comes back, that's when we really start to find out. Because Amik Robertson just is a guy that at this point has to be on the field.
Has to.
Yeah, and I know that they moved him to nickel, or at least he got moved to nickel a little bit. He's just been all over the place, essentially. And Arnold has not been in that spot. So it's not like you can just toss Terrion Arnold in the nickel corner spot and assume he's going to be good. Because, one, he's just not the build for a nickel cornerback, essentially.
No, he's too big.
Right.
He's too tall.
And so, I don't know. I think if he does play this week, there's a lot on the line for him for sure. With DJ Reed likely returning the following week. Amik Robertson has just been spectacular where he's got to be on the field at all times. So I don't think it's done for Terrion Arnold as far as like he's never going to be a starting corner for the Lions again.
No, but I think
I
think if he's bad this week.
Right, from this point on, like, hey, if we're fully healthy, the 2 starting corners might not include Arnold.
Yeah, I think it would be Amik Robertson and DJ Reed. And then they just kind of have to figure out who that nickel corner is on the sub packages.
In big packages, maybe you do move Amik back to the nickel and bring Arnold back out there. Like, you know, like that's just, but when it's the 2 corners packages without any nickels out there, it might just be Robertson over Arnold. And I think it's probably what's best for the defense at this point.
Yeah.
But who knows?
And at some point you kind of have to stop messing around and banking on development and guys getting better and just play the best guys.
When you're a true contender as well, yeah.
Yeah, when you're a true contender. And at that point is probably, at the latest, Thanksgiving? Like, you kind of have to know who you are by then. So they still have a couple weeks to figure it out, I'd say. But I'd say the clock is ticking on TA to kind of show that he is supposed to be a starter and is supposed to be a member of this defense that can provide the Lions a spark, right? We're still waiting on that first INT, which I don't think is that big of a deal.
No.
Like, I'm not going to define
one taken away from him, by the way, too, earlier this year.
Right. I'm not going to define a corner based on how many INTs they get, but I am going to define them based on, hey, can you, like, ever make awesome plays? Like, or are people just going to be wide open most of the time when you're guarding them? Because it feels like he really struggles in the short to intermediate game. Like, over the top, that's where he's losing via the hold, via the flag coming in. But when he lines up on these receivers that are totally capable of just like running precise routes like a Devontae Adams and stuff, it feels like he has no chance to keep up with some of these guys, right?
Well, and I agree, yes. And I think that you talked about Thanksgiving is the spot where you kind of have to have a full decision made on this. I feel like it has to be sooner than that. I mean, we've over and over discussed about how tough this Lions schedule is, and it starts this week, man. Justin Jefferson, walking into Ford Field this week.
Who's given the Lions so many
I
problems over the
understand
last
that
few
the
years.
Commanders looked bad against the Chiefs last night, but Terry McLaurin returned and looked like he was back, and Deebo Samuel's having a great year. The Eagles, as much as they don't pass the football, they have a great wide receiver duo. Like, you play the Cowboys, you play the Rams, you play Green Bay. Like, you play all these teams that have really good receivers. So the clock as far as figuring out what the true ideal lineup looks like defensively, I think starts now. I think that starts this week with DJ Reed likely returning in the next game against the Commanders.
So Terrion basically has this week to prove it.
But I don't know if he's going to play, too. I mean, what if he doesn't play? Then obviously the week after that becomes a really weird situation.
Reading between the lines and just kind of Dan Campbell's, not just the words verbatim, but just kind of his body language, it kind of seemed like Terrion Arnold was going to play.
And they didn't put him on IR. I think that really plays into this as well.
He basically has until DJ Reed comes back to prove why he should be one of the starters on the outside. Otherwise, once he does come back, I think it should be DJ Reed and Amik Robertson as the 2 corners because, you can't waste this pass rush with the corners that are getting beat consistently in man coverage. And I don't think Amik Robertson or DJ Reed is ever going to be those guys that are consistently getting beat. They'll lose. No corner's perfect. It's a position maybe more than any
but they also
in the
have
NFL where you're just going to take L's.
Too. Like Amik Robertson, even if he does lose some battles one-on-one, he's a tremendous open field tackler. Like, he has these things about him that are going to be there.
The peanut punch.
What does Arnold have that is like, well, even if he's getting beat or even with the flags, at least he's got this.
He's got the intangibles.
He has the size.
He has the size, the measurables. That's what he has.
Right.
That's kind of what his reputation has been built on.
But that isn't relate to impacting the game yet. It hasn't yet. And so that's the issue right now. Where can he find that spot where it's like, we know TA is going to bring this to the table. No matter what happens, no matter if he does get the pass interference, he's going to do this for us. Can he establish that, and can he establish that very quickly?
I think he's supposed to be the big physical corner that you can kind of throw in press coverage, and it's just hard to get around him.
Devontae Adams or whatever, right.
But that hasn't really been the case so far in his career. He's not fast enough to keep up with guys when he presses them, because if he gets beat on not the first step, but if anybody gets by him at any point, it feels like he doesn't have the recovery speed to make up for it, unfortunately. 989-837-6125. Have you checked out this Minnesota Vikings spread with the Lions game? It is significantly bigger than I would have anticipated, especially if you would have asked me coming into the season. I'll tell you what that spread is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt. Like I said, the 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphones to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future, but it's not just about the tech. It is about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CAR to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them. On Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). So this Minnesota spread, and if you guys have been listening to the show since it launched in June, you know that going into the season, I was very high on this Minnesota Vikings team. I thought from a roster standpoint, this was the second best team in the NFC North behind the Lions. I thought J.J. McCarthy, all he had to do was be rookie year Brock Purdy, just run the offense, put the team in co-pilot and just kind of cruise along, lean on your play calling and Kevin O'Connell, lean on your pass catchers and J.J., Justin Jefferson, that is, Hawkinson and Addison. And the Vikings were going to be fine because they have awesome play callers on both sides of the ball, improved defense, offensive line. Well, the offensive line has been decimated by injuries for the most part this season. The quarterback play has been terrible, whether it was Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy the first 2 games of the season. J.J. McCarthy has become this huge question mark. Is he hurt? What's going on with his ankle? Nobody really knows. The spread is 8.5 in favor of the Lions at home. I would have guessed, if this was week 1, I think the spread is like 3.5 for the Lions. And that shows you the way that the Vikings season has gone. Vegas just is straight up telling you, we don't believe in this team either. We're not going to mess around with the Vikings. We think the Lions are going to blow them out of the water. This is going to be more than a touchdown game. It's still a divisional game with 2 awesome play callers on the other side of the ball. But with that being said, I don't know who's betting on J.J. McCarthy right now. Not to say that you're betting against him, but he's just such a question mark. And the way that this has gone the last month with this high ankle sprain that kept him out, 7 weeks? It's just really bizarre. And I don't think anyone has a ton of confidence in what they're getting from J.J. McCarthy, because the Vikings, it don't seem like they have any confidence in him either, because they're playing a guy that needed shoulder surgery rather than a guy who's in week 7 of recovering from a high ankle sprain. A lot of question marks coming into this one, but it's going to be JJ. They said that right after the game, even before the Wentz shoulder surgery was announced, to the point where Vegas is like, yeah, we don't believe in this team. We think they're going to get blown out. 8.5, that seems pretty high. But I don't think anyone, I'm not advising anyone to bet Minnesota.
It seems very high. Here's the case for Minnesota. I think there's a lot of case for Minnesota in this as well. One, these teams, other than the last game of the year last year, seem to always play close. These games have always been tight. Even when it was the battle of 5-0s last season early on, it comes down to that late Jake Bates field goal in Minnesota for them to win it. Mm-hmm. And obviously, like I said, the game last year was a little bit different, but at the end of the season. But also, there's a lot of question mark with J.J. McCarthy, for sure. We're not acting like he's taking over for some good quarterback, though. I think a lot of people are just hanging on to the whole, they had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on the roster, and they went with McCarthy. Okay, yeah, that was last season, though. This season, it was Carson Wentz and J.J. McCarthy. Carson Wentz is terrible. He's really bad. So bad. And so it's not like J.J. McCarthy's walking in and is for sure taking over a quarterback situation that was much better before him. I would find it very difficult to believe he's going to be worse than Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz still got them a couple wins, so. Well,
Carson Wentz was at least smart enough to know just throw the ball to Justin Jefferson over and over and over and over again.
That's an obvious backup quarterback thing. That's just what you do when you have a talented wide receiver. Just get him the ball as much as I can.
It's not really what JJ was doing.
He's not a backup quarterback, though.
Correct.
So that's the case for the Vikings here. Is look, J.J. McCarthy's just going to be better than Carson Wentz. That's totally going to happen. This is still a good defense. They're getting healthier. They're coming off of a long week. The Lions, yes, they're coming off of the bye and everything, but the reason why the Lions are so big of favorites is because what you talked about in the Tuesday Tower segment. All these favorites have been winning.
Yeah, they're not giving you any juice.
Think about all the favorites that not only won this week, but won. I mean, the Colts won by 1,000 points. The Bills won by 30. The Eagles won by 30. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs last night were, 10-point favorites, and they won by 20. All these favorites are winning by a ton, so they have to put a little bit of extra points on these favorites to make teams go after the underdogs. Even we have it at 8.5 right now. This opened at 9.5. The Lions were 9.5-point favorites.
So people are betting the Vikings.
It's unreal. That is way too high for a divisional game between two teams that, like you said, coming into the season, we viewed to be pretty neck and neck.
And 2 awesome coaching staffs as well.
Extremely awesome coaching staffs. I still think Minnesota might have the best all-around coaching staff in the league.
See, you say they can't be worse with J.J. McCarthy, and I think it's impossible to play, have more mistakes. No one takes more sacks than Carson Wentz.
And fumbles more than Carson Wentz.
And just throws dumb balls down the field. But he could at least move the football down the field because he was willing to take those take those risks, even though sometimes they made you bash your head into a wall if you bet on Minnesota. Is J.J. McCarthy even capable of putting together an offense that can pick up 3 first downs? Because we at least knew Wentz could do that. You knew the mistakes were coming. But is J.J. going to be one of those guys that plays it too safe and the Vikings can't move the ball and he can't hit his receivers even, but, okay, he's not taking sacks and he's not throwing interceptions, and it's actually hurting the Vikings that he's not willing to take some of those chances? Because that's what it felt like we saw the first 2 weeks of the season when he was the starter. The Vikings just couldn't really move the football at all. They had that game against Atlanta, and then they had the game against Chicago where, yeah, he finally woke up in the fourth quarter. But of the 8 quarters of football that he's played, 7 have been really bad.
Very true. It's a good point. But I guess, I don't know, the Wentz thing is like, you are taking over a bad quarterback situation, but in general, like the situation with the Vikings is probably better right now than when Wentz took over, right? Like just with the entire roster. They're healthier right now than they were when J.J. McCarthy played earlier in the season.
Yeah, they're definitely healthier. But their injuries that happened defensively hadn't happened yet. And the offensive line, I just don't know if that's getting fixed. Like the offensive line has been such a mess so far this season that if it's still as bad as it was against the Chargers last Thursday, against the Lions, they're in for a long game with Lee McNeil, DJ Breeder, and Aiden Hutchinson coming to get J.J. McCarthy. Right. That's a fun little dynamic too, the Hutchinson trying to sack J.J. McCarthy.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I mean,
that's a good storyline.
I feel confident in the Lions for sure. Like, not saying that this is like a game that I'm worried about them losing or anything, but I just think that, man, for them to win by this much in a divisional game, like these divisional games always seem to get a little bit of a tighter line just because they are these divisional games, and this one just is not getting that at all.
Well, they can't. Like, look, to your point, the favorites have just beaten the crap out of all the underdogs
like
for 2 straight weeks.
That's what I think it is. I think it's less of they feel that confident in the Lions / they don't feel confident at all in the Vikings, and it's more of man, the favorites have just been winning by too many points. We have to try to even this thing out a little bit.
It feels like there's haves and have-nots this year in the NFL, and there's not a lot of teams floating around in the middle. Like there's a bunch of teams that are really bad. There's a handful of teams that are very good, and the middle teams just kind of have picked a lane to go down. Like, I don't know. There's not a ton of average football teams.
Right.
Like the Jaguars kind of come to mind, the Cowboys, but we saw the Cowboys get decimated by Denver this week.
I feel like I have completely flipped my opinion on how I thought J.J. McCarthy and this Vikings thing was going to go. Like, coming into the year, I was the major guy that was like, I'm confident in the Vikings, but, man, I'm just not that confident in J.J. McCarthy. And I feel like I was the only guy on that ship. And now I've almost flipped it. Everybody has completely gone at J.J. McCarthy, and I'm kind of zagging here.
Because this is weird. It's weird.
It is weird, but, man, everybody, I think it has to deal with the Daniel Jones being on the Vikings thing was just never going to happen. Like, the fact that he gets tossed in with Sam Darnold, like, oh, they had Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was on the practice squad, man. He never even suited up in a Vikings uniform last year. He was just there. And so we're not going to act like that was some big mistake that the Vikings made.
No, but this Darnold thing was definitely a mistake.
For sure, it was a mistake. And I think the bigger red flag is that they actually tried to bring him back. It wasn't the fact that they just had completely committed to, we don't want Darnold anymore. It's J.J. McCarthy's time. They tried to bring Darnold back, showing that
they tried to bring in Aaron Rodgers.
Obviously, right. So does that show they don't have that much confidence in McCarthy? I don't know, but I just can't see a world. I really can't. And this is weird of me to say this because I thought the opposite in the preseason, but with under Kevin O'Connell and the way that this offense is built, that J.J. McCarthy's just going to be a disaster. I just can't see it. He's going to be at least solid.
Well, he might be a disaster against the Lions.
Your whole thing was always he could just got to be Brock Purdy, right?
Yeah, rookie year Brock Purdy before he was even
I don't see why that can't be a case. You know, I really don't see why that isn't super realistic to happen.
I can tell you why.
Jordan
the
Addison
offensive line doesn't hold up. That would be the reason.
Sure, but it's not like McCarthy's just this guy that crumbles under pressure. Like, he has the ability to escape.
No, but he doesn't have the arm strength if he's under pressure and throwing off of his back foot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if he's moving backwards and is kind of throwing to avoid getting sacked, I don't think he has the zip or the accuracy in the short game to make up for that. That's where I get concerned about him.
That's a fair point.
And I think even the Michigan fans would admit that. Like, he kind of has to have his space around him and be able to plant his back foot and put some muscle into it. But it's not like he has this zip of a pass like a Justin Herbert does or anything like that.
No, you're right. That's a good point.
He's a little undersized.
He definitely is. I'm interested. I'm not saying I'm sitting here rooting for McCarthy to be this star. I love the topic of Michigan fans. What are you feeling about McCarthy this Sunday? I think that's an extremely fun discussion to have because I assume there's going to be a lot of Michigan fans that are kind of rooting for J.J. McCarthy because but it's against your favorite team in the Lions. So how's that going to play?
No, I hope they make him look miserable.
Yeah, I hope he looks terrible. But I struggle to just think I'm with everybody here in the whole McCarthy's done. What a bad decision from the Vikings. He's going to stink. We really haven't even seen him yet. I would like to see him a little bit, and I think he's going to at least be fine.
Well, we'll see him on Sunday. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be trying to kill him. Ali McNeil's going to be trying to get him too. I think he's got potential to be written off this week, even though I would agree with you that would be very premature. But if he has a bad game against the Lions, the narrative about him is on Monday on Colin's show. It's just going to be really funny. 989-837-6125. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt. You guys can see us live on YouTube. Haven't mentioned that today. If you are listening right now, you guys can, whenever you get to your destination, if you're listening in your car, pull us up on YouTube. We're live on there every single day as well. Love watching that subscriber count go up. Thanks to everyone who's new on the YouTube channel right now who's in there listening. Again, you can see us live on YouTube, and you can see the difference at Midland Eye Care, where your vision is their focus, offering comprehensive eye exams, glasses, contacts, and advanced eye health services. Friendly, knowledgeable staff and a wide selection of stylish frames for every face and budget. Locally owned and trusted by families throughout the Midland area while offering comprehensive eye care services and in-demand lenses and frames. Whether you're updating your prescription or checking in on your eye health, they've got you covered. Book your appointment today and start seeing clear tomorrow. That is Midland Eye Care.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Hey sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Lens ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. We're live on YouTube as well. Let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, we're going to play a little game called Quarterback Survive and Advanced. Kyle names 2 quarterbacks. I pick who's playing better this season. We'll see who's the last quarterback remaining.
I like it. This has been pretty fun when we've done it so far. Like when you had Dylan Gabriel above Jackson Dart.
Oh.
I know that made our boy John pretty happy.
Hey, I thought Dylan Gabriel, that one game he had in London, was pretty good. He's been pretty bad since then.
Okay, let's do
pretty good in
let's
that game.
do 2 stinky quarterbacks in the AFC East to start off. Justin Fields or Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh. Do I have to pick one? I'll go Tua. Tua's like mind-numbingly bad and throws the worst interceptions you'll see, but at least like they move the football once in a while, and their offense can get hot. I mean, they scored 27 this week against Atlanta,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say Tua.
Yeah, pretty bad though. How about Tua or Geno Smith?
Speaking of guys who throw interceptions, I'll go with Tua here. I know he throws probably the worst interceptions, but again, at least the Dolphins once in a while, like once a month, can show that they can put up points.
Right. Okay. So Tua, 2 in a row here.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
More than I thought. Some bad quarterbacks.
Same amount of wins as they have this year. How about Tua or Joe Flacco?
I'll go Joe Flacco here, gladly. He finally gets some good receivers around him, and this is exactly how we thought this would go, right? He's just throwing the ball 55 times a game, targeting Jamar Chase 23 times, and they move the ball up and down the field.
Right.
Defense still stinks, but Joe Flacco's been good.
Let's go from the vet to the rookie. Joe Flacco or Jackson Dart?
Joe Flacco.
Wow.
Ever since he showed up in Cincinnati, he's been a totally different quarterback. And I think the bigger reason that he's been able to put up numbers is not because he got these awesome receivers put in front of him in T. Higgins and Jamar, but in Cleveland, he had the worst group of receivers in the NFL, statistically. So I think that ever since he showed up in Cincinnati, he's been awesome. So I'll go Flacco.
Interesting. This is a little bit tougher because we had a good amount of backup quarterbacks playing lately, so I don't really want to bring up any guys that haven't played a ton. But I do want to do one guy because we may have seen the last of him this season. Joe Flacco or Mac Jones?
Ooh, I thought Mac Jones was really good for San Francisco until last week against Houston when he went up against that awesome defense. But I thought he did a great job filling in. I'll go Joe Flacco, though.
Wow, Flacco's on a run.
Yeah.
All right, maybe this is where it comes to an end. Battle of the old heads, Joe Flacco or Aaron Rodgers?
This pains me. If we had one full season from Joe Flacco in Cincinnati, I probably would go with him. But Aaron Rodgers has actually been, I don't want to say pleasantly surprising, but surprisingly good this season. They lean into his strengths, which is these quick passes, is not taking hits, not being mobile. But he's been pretty good at that so far. So I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
John in the YouTube chat says, question is, will Shedeur be ranked higher than Dart in a couple weeks?
Maybe.
Oh, that's going to be good. Okay, so you picked Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, Rodgers.
Okay, let's go with Aaron Rodgers or Caleb Williams.
I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers here. I think Caleb Williams is holding the Bears back.
Really?
Yeah.
This is like a crazy shift from you.
I know.
That's your boy, Caleb Williams, and your non-boy, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Caleb Williams, similar to the Packers with Jordan Love, is like kind of the reason the Bears aren't viewed as better. Like if they had better quarterback play, maybe we would be talking about them as a playoff team. But because their quarterback, still is not a very accurate passer, does some very like manic things at times, I think I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Okay.
You at least know what you're getting from him.
Interesting. How about Aaron Rodgers or Trevor Lawrence? This is a good one, right?
It's a really good one. I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, Rodgers.
Trevor Lawrence is one of these guys that is like holding his team back. I know Brian Thomas has not done him any favors with all these drops, but you watch a Jaguars game, which I've watched a lot of this year because I just have a lot of self-interest in Travis Hunter and the way that they're going to use him. He just like is consistently missing guys. And at least with Rodgers, despite him not being mobile, he's not going to miss you and sail a ball over a dude's head. Trevor Lawrence is still doing that and like running past the line of scrimmage and making dumb decisions there, like throwing the ball when he's 3 yards ahead of the LOS. I got to go Rodgers.
Let's stay in the same division. Aaron Rodgers or C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud. I think he's turned a corner here the last couple of weeks. He's looking a little bit more like the rookie version of himself, which I thought was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So I'll go C.J. Stroud. The Rodgers streak had to end at some point. He had one too many.
I had to give you a layup there. I was getting sick of it, honestly. How about C.J. Stroud or Sam Darnold?
This season, it's got to be Sam Darnold. Who am I picking to run a franchise is a different question. But if you're asking who's been better this season, it's Sam Darnold, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think that's fair. How about Sam Darnold or Bo Nix? Tough one.
I'll go Bo Nix here.
That hurt you to do, I could tell.
Yeah, no,
I
it
could
did.
tell that one hurt you.
I'll go Bo Nix.
Okay, Bo Nix or Jordan Love? I'm giving you some good ones.
I'll go Bo Nix.
Bo Nix now goes on a run. A lot of guys that Ben doesn't really love are just going on runs here in this right now. Kind of set up by me. How about Bo Nix or Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones, right? How can Daniel Jones is going to be beat by very few guys this season. He's playing some of the best. Yeah, I mean,
Daniel
if we're
Jones
talking
about
about
to go on a run here.
If we're talking about who do we trust, would you start a franchise with? Again, it's different. But if we're talking who has played better this season,
yeah,
Daniel Jones is fourth in yards. He's completing 71% of his passes, which I think is second in the NFL. He's been fantastic. I'm going Daniel Jones. Actually, I think the 71% is first. Yeah, so
okay,
I'll go Daniel Jones.
This is where
here.
things are going to start to get tricky in here, Ben. Daniel Jones or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott. So much for that run.
Yeah, coming off a tough week too, but
coming off a really tough week. But prior to that, the yards, the totals, what they're asking him to do with that bad of a defense, for him to come through and be this high-scoring, explosive offense with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, I think he's been a stud this year.
Dak Prescott or Jared Goff?
Goff coming off kind of a bad game against Tampa. So is Dak, though. I'll go Jared Goff. He's second in the league in completion percentage. He's not putting up these massive totals that Dak is doing, but he's doing everything in his power to keep the Lions' offense afloat, and that's exactly what they've done. They've done more than that. I'll go Jared Goff.
How about Jared Goff or the guy that they just beat, Baker Mayfield?
Jared Goff. Completely outplayed him in that game, despite the Lions not being very good offensively.
Right, and Baker Mayfield couldn't take advantage of that really bad secondary of the Lions. So
yeah.
I'm with you there. Okay, how about Jared Goff or Matt Stafford?
Stafford.
Yeah,
Stafford's been
so
on
good.
a tear this season.
Man, he's been so good. I feel
It's
like
like
I think I said Matt Stafford too early because now he's about to go on a run. No, we're in like the top 6, 7 right now. How about Matt Stafford or Jalen Hurts?
Stafford.
Okay.
The offense has been a little too shaky in Philadelphia for me to pick them. I know they've had some explosive games where he's looked awesome. They've also had just as many games where they can't complete 3 passes in a row.
Yeah, I would agree.
You never would get that from Stafford.
Battle of L.A. Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert.
Herbert had a pretty tough stretch in the middle. basically when both of his tackles were out. Stafford doesn't have that yet, so I'll go Stafford.
It's all AFC guys left for me to compare Stafford with here, which is kind of crazy to show where the league is at.
Yeah.
Stafford or your boy, Drake May?
Drake May. Drake May has been
Saw that one coming.
Unbelievable this season. Has inserted himself into a top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL conversation. And if we're talking just this season, he's without a doubt one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
How about Drake May?
Wait, can I give you a Drake May stat?
Sure, man.
75% completion percentage, leads the NFL over Jared Goff, over Lamar Jackson, over Daniel Jones.
And he throws the best deep ball in NFL history.
Some are saying 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's been pretty astonishing watching him at he's probably 23 years old, ball out the way that he has.
Well, there's only a couple guys left to compare him to. One of them is in his own division. Drake May or Josh Allen?
If you're asking me this season who's been better, it's been Drake May. Head-to-head win.
Oh.
What do you mean? Head-to-head win.
Man,
he's thrown for more yards. He's completed more passes.
There's no way you're taking
he's thrown
Drake
for more
May
touchdowns.
over Josh Allen. There's just no way.
And not if I'm starting a franchise, but if I'm talking who's been better this season, it's been Drake May. He went to Buffalo and picked up a win against Josh Allen, in which Josh Allen I don't think was particularly great in that game.
Give me Josh Allen every day of the week.
They're tied in MVP odds for second.
No, they're not. Josh Allen plus 400, Drake May plus 450.
He was plus 400 yesterday.
Last one, Drake May or Patrick Mahomes? We know the answer.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
He's about to win his third MVP. I really believe that. All right, 989-837-6125. That's going to do it for Around the League today. Hey, College Football Playoff Committee comes out with their first ranking 1 week from today. How's it going to be different than the current AP poll? I'll let you know when you come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Again, we are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. Mr. Appliance is your go-to fast, reliable home auto repair appliance shop done right here in Midland. From refrigerators to ovens and washers, dryers, and more. They'll get you back up running with confidence. Upfront pricing, friendly techs, and dependable service you can trust. Need help at home or at your business? Mr. Appliance is just a call or click away. Keep your business or home running smooth with Mr. Appliance. Schedule services today at MrAppliance.pro.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for awards members this month. It's October, so savings on all things spooky. $9.99 for an 100-count Halloween LED light string pack. And get those ghostly vibes with a giant glowing ghost inflatable, $99.99. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And get ahead of the cold. Ace brand winterizer, just $16.99.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
I'm right there, coming.
Trick or treat.
Hello, children. I'm sorry. I forgot to go buy candy this year. Hey, don't be rude, okay? I'm forgetful. You're just mean. Now, hold on. I do have these 8x10 glossies of Bill Simonson and Anthony Bellino. Happy Halloween from the Great Lake Basin's home for sports. 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins, the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. Here on The Mitt, here on YouTube, here on Facebook as well. We're everywhere that you can watch it. College Football Playoff Committee coming out with their first poll next week, which I'm always excited about because it's like a fresh slate. It's like these are the polls that actually matter. These are the rankings that actually determine how the season's going to go, unlike the AP poll that had Texas number 1 preseason. I love the idea of not ranking any teams until week 9 or week 10 and really giving us a sample size before we start putting real opinions into this that matters. That's just why I've never really valued the AP poll. On Sunday during the NFL slate when the AP poll comes out, I don't really care. Like, whatever Michigan's ranked, they're ranked. Whoever's the new number 1, they're the new number 1, but none of it matters because it's a meaningless poll full of people who have openly said, yeah, it's just a fun exercise that I do. And some people just don't take it seriously enough. So I'm excited to see how this power poll looks next week. Honestly, Kyle, the team that's been sitting number 1 since week 2 in Ohio State, I wouldn't be surprised if they were not the number 1 team when the College Football Playoff Committee comes out with their rankings a week from today. I think Indiana has a legitimate case to be the number 1 team in the country next week with a win on the road versus Oregon, where they kind of won in dominant fashion, where they have the number 1 point differential in all of college football. Ohio State doesn't really have a awesome win, at least not a win like that. I mean, they beat Texas. That's their big win. They beat Illinois. That's their other big win. But Texas isn't very good. Illinois is fine. They're like a middle-tier Big Ten team. They don't have a win like on the road against Oregon. I think Indiana really might be the number 1 team in the country next week. If we're talking resume, how teams have looked, I don't really see a reason why it wouldn't be Indiana. And this is coming from someone who hasn't really been a big hasn't been a big Kirk Cignetti guy over the past year and a half.
Yeah, but the issue is it's not like Ohio State has played those teams like crazy close. I mean, the Texas game was close, but I mean, it is all the way back in week 1.
Right.
But they've like handled every team they've played.
Not as much as Indiana has.
It'd be different if they had like a close law, but they just don't really have a reason to take them out of number 1. It's more of an Indiana thing than it is an Ohio State thing, right?
But they're not taking them out of number 1.
You're
this
right.
is a completely
No,
new
it's a good
poll.
point. It's a good point. But I mean, obviously, the current rankings do play into it a little bit. You know, like
I don't think they do.
They're going to recognize what the current rankings are.
Only because it like semi-accurately says how the seasons have gone. But like the Ohio State being number 1, it kind of feels like they're just number 1 until they lose. Whereas there's another undefeated team. Why wouldn't the AP poll be like, hey, here's our chance to put who we think is the best team at number 1? They've shown they're not afraid to do it.
Do you think Ohio State is not the best team? Because I don't think that. There's no way. Like right now, hypothetically, Ohio State versus Indiana, they're playing this week. Ohio State is favorites in no matter what scenario, right? On the road, at home, neutral site. Ohio State is favorites, right? No matter what. And I think the college football
committee... Yes, but part of me wonders if that's just the brand recognition and knowing that they will have people betting on them no matter what.
Sure, I also
it's
just
like
think,
the Kansas City thing.
I also
like they
just
just
think
have
that
more people betting on them.
I also just think that most people think Ohio State's probably better than Indiana, though.
Yeah.
You know, like I get, that is a fair point you make about the brand thing because, of course, people would bet on Ohio State. But I also just think that they're probably better than Indiana still. So I don't know. I think it's a good debate. I see the points you're making about Indiana because they do really care about resume more than anything else, and Indiana's resume has been good.
It's the best in the country, I think.
I actually think a lot matters with the Vandy-Texas game this week. Like if Texas beats Vandy, then all of a sudden Texas is back, and like that ends up being like, wow, that was a good win for Ohio State week 1. You know, Arch Manning is in concussion protocol, so that plays into it. But I think if Texas beats Vandy, they're going to jump back up in the rankings, at least the AP poll rankings.
Where's that one?
It is in Texas, I believe.
Okay.
And so Texas, I think right now is ranked in the low 20s. If they beat Vandy, they're going to jump
20.
up. They're going to jump up to 15 at least, probably. And so
yeah,
all
that's
of a sudden,
good one.
Yeah, all of a sudden that looks like a big win for Ohio, like a bigger win for Ohio State. Obviously, it's a big win no matter what.
That's a good point.
But to your point, like the Penn State matchup this week, this was going to initially come at a crucial time for the rankings. Like,
yeah,
no shock that the college football playoff ranking comes out the week after Ohio State versus Penn State. Preseason, that was their biggest game on the schedule. And now all of a sudden it's just like this game that they should absolutely destroy Penn State in. What's the line on this game? I mean, it's got to be near 4 touchdowns, right? Yeah, it's 20.5. Like, Ohio State's going to crush Penn State. They don't have a win in the Big Ten. They're just like our Spartans. So I just don't see a reason. Like, but you're right, because I can't say a reason to take them out of number 1 because
they're not number 1 in their eyes.
For their eyes. You're right. So it's going to be
we don't know who number 1 is in their eyes.
It's going to be interesting.
A team that I've come around on, that I sold stock on a couple weeks ago, and I semi-regret it, is A&M. They have a huge win against LSU on the road last Saturday.
Yeah, what's the case for them to be number 1? I mean, they have a case, right?
Well, they have wins against LSU and Notre Dame both on the road. And I'd say maybe of the best quarterback of those 3 teams that we just talked about, Ohio State, Indiana, and A&M. I know Mendoza's been awesome, for Indiana. No Sayan's been great for Ohio State, but Marcel Reed is like kind of a problem. He's pretty hard to contain. He's small, but he's a little Jaden Daniels-ish. He's a little Kyler-ish, where he's just kind of a jitterbug that it's really hard to get 2 hands on him and bring him down. I've come a long way on A&M. That was an impressive win against LSU last weekend.
It was.
But they've got a gauntlet of a schedule coming up.
They do. Missouri, South Carolina, and then they end the year with Texas. I think that actually this is going to truly play. I'm glad you brought up A&M. This is going to really tell how the playoff this year feels about Big Ten versus SEC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is a case for A&M to be number 1, like a very clear case. They have more big wins than Ohio State and Indiana. Indiana probably has the biggest win, but still, like the fact that they went to Notre Dame and beat them early in the season and then have backed it up going to LSU last week and destroying them, A&M is a good case to be number 1 team in the country. This is going to show SEC versus Big Ten bias.
You know who else has not as strong of a case to be number 1, but I think it's pretty clearly, like, I think those 3 teams are going to be 1 through 3 unless they lose. Alabama is putting together quite the resume.
Not to be number 1, though, right?
Not to be number 1,
but maybe be in the initial top 4.
They lost to Florida week 1, Florida State. Since then, they've beaten Georgia, Vandy, Missouri, Tennessee, and South Carolina.
Yeah, that's a lot of really good wins.
The
Florida State loss
That's
just
pretty
looks
good.
so bad now. Like, it looks way worse than it did even 2 weeks ago.
But I don't know if anybody in the country has good wins like a resume like that of beating Georgia, Vandy. Like that is a gauntlet of a schedule that they've come out undefeated with. So I don't think they're going to be won because of the loss.
I wish we could just get the first ranking tonight, man.
I know. All right, 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, 11 o'clock hour on the way. More to talk about with that epic World Series game last night. Of course, our two traditions to close out every show as well. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, I know it's late, but I just had a fender bender, and I wasn't sure who to call.
You did the right thing. At Yiter Insurance, we're here for you 24/7, day or night, weekday or weekend. You'll always get a real person ready to help. Backed by Auto Owners Insurance.
Life doesn't happen on a 9-to-5 schedule, and neither does Yiter. With trusted partners like Auto Owners, whether it's a claim, a question about coverage, or just peace of mind, you can count on us anytime you need us.
Yiter Insurance, your friends in the insurance business. Always on, always here for you.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. I'm Kevin Spencer, an Edward Jones financial advisor here in Midland. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future.
Call Kevin Spencer, your local Edward Jones financial advisor in Midland, 989-832-8428, or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins, the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). If you're just now tuning in, welcome into the show. Ben Bosscher here, Kyle Sandel behind the glass. 11 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Yiter Insurance Group. Last night, it was a late one for you diehard baseball fans out there. I'll admit it. I didn't get through it. I tried my best. You know, eventually we moved from the couch to the bed, and then maybe that was exactly where, you know, it was right in the stars that I was not going to make it through the end of that game. I'm trying to watch it on my phone in bed, and they go 18 innings. I don't know at what inning I fell asleep, but I wake up and immediately I'm like, what? At 4 in the morning, I ended up going back to bed. But at 4 in the morning, like, what happened in that game? I have to know. Freddie Freeman walk-off home run, back-to-back World Series where he's got a walk-off home run. Be shocked if that's happened more than once. And maybe the bigger story, Shohei Ohtani just becoming the first player to do this, the first player to do that, the first player to do something else. Well, yesterday it was the first player in postseason history with 3 multi-home run games. It was the first player in playoff history to go 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 2 doubles. It was the second time in World Series history that in the 9th inning, someone was intentionally walked with the bases empty, and then he did it a second and third time in the 11th and 15th inning. Dodgers end up picking up a win. Dodgers now up 2-1 in the series. You and I were together for game 1 when it ended, when the Blue Jays just waxed him off the face of the earth. And we said, if the Dodgers are underdogs right now to win the series, we have to take them. And sure enough, they were not. And this is exactly why, because they have 5 of the best players on the planet. They have 5 guys in their lineup that'd be the best player on the Tigers lineup. This is a pretty historic baseball team. And I know everyone hates the Dodgers and wants them to lose for the sake of baseball, but like sometimes you just got to take a step back and appreciate such a special team with such a special player at the forefront of it. The forefront of it was Shohei Ohtani. I had zero reaction to his second home run because I was like, "Yep, that makes sense. Why wouldn't he hit another home run in this game? He's only got another one. He got one earlier. He's got 2 doubles. He reached 9 times yesterday. That is unheard of. 9 times." He got on base. I'm running out of words to say about this guy.
He truly is, like you said earlier, not only the best in the sport, but he's
the best athlete in the world.
The gap between 1 and 2 is wild. I mean, have you ever heard of those fantasy leagues where you draft players from every sport?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that. Because you can do it with teams too, but I've seen the one where it's like a 3-sport fantasy league, and you just draft anybody. That's super funny. I would love to do one of those. Ohtani's like the first pick in that no matter what. He truly is just what happened last night. I was in shock when I woke up. I was in shock when I woke up and I was like, this went to 18 innings.
It's like, I'm glad I went to bed.
Yeah, like imagine if I tried to stay up and watch this because then it would just have
You'd be asleep right now.
I would be asleep in the middle of the show. Yes, I probably wouldn't even have showed up. That was crazy. 18 innings game. The Blue Jays, the crazier part isn't what Ohtani did. It's the Blue Jays just like, we're never going to allow him to try to hit a baseball the rest of this game.
No, I think he's going to be on the mound pitching today against this Blue Jays team. And then in the bottom of the first inning, when he is up to bat, in the first inning, with 0 people on, batting leadoff, I think they're going to walk him. Why wouldn't they? He's unstoppable. It makes no sense, Kyle.
I do have a little bit of a prediction tonight, though.
Okay.
I think Ohtani gets touched up a little bit on the mound. There's just no way coming off of an 18-inning game.
Think about what you're doing here.
They played until 11:50 last night Pacific time. They're playing at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That is not much of a difference hours-wise. Like, that is really coming close to the start of baseball. I think that there's a chance that the Blue Jays get to him pretty hard today offensively.
Think about what you're doing
here. Gets pulled a little bit early in this game. We see the Dodgers pitchers go pretty deep into games. Glasnow didn't go crazy deep last night either, but I think Ohtani gives up a few runs tonight. I think he gives up like 3 or 4 runs.
So you're predicting Shohei Ohtani to have a bad outing?
I think I am. I think I'm doing something crazy here. It seems a little bit impossible to do it after the super late night last night, to be the pitcher. Because think about every
Would you say this with any pitcher, though? It's not like all the pitchers were still there. And he also
no, I would not say it's about every pitcher because none of the pitchers that pitched played 18 innings the night before. You know, Ohtani did.
And he also was dealing, it looked like late in the game when he tried to steal, dealing with a little bit of a hamstring thing. So that's a lot of wear and tear running the bases that many times, getting on 9 times. I mean, I know that they say baseball's like
2 of them are homers. He's doing a light jog around him.
Yeah, but even the walks, it's like you got to run the bags.
Yeah.
8 home runs now this postseason. It'd be pretty shocking if he didn't hit another one at this point, right?
Right.
He's going to hit another one at some point,
for sure.
Whether it's tonight or when they go back to Toronto. I'm pulling for the Dodgers here, man. A 1236 OPS for Shohei Ohtani. Vlad Guerrero sitting with a 1269 OPS, which kind of just he might get put in the shadow here if the Dodgers end up winning this thing. But for him to be hitting 414 with 6 home runs, Vlad Guerrero, I mean, That is one of the best postseason runs I think we've ever seen, at least that I can remember off the top of my head. And for them to run into this Dodgers team, very unfortunate.
It's just getting overshadowed like crazy right now.
Yeah, because Ohtani has 8 home runs. One of the crazier things about Vlad, too, is he's got only 4 Ks and 9 walks this postseason. 1269 OPS over the course of 14 games against the best pitchers in the world. And somehow his team's not coming through. When he scored in the 7th yesterday and avoided the tag and like kind of slid around it and kind of puffed his chest out and walked back to the dugout, I was like, this is a superstar right here. This is what I was saying the whole time during the ALCS of like, yeah, I know Cal Raleig's having the season that he's having, but like Vlad's the superstar in this series. Vlad's the guy that has the aura to him, the guy that you know is going to come through in October. This guy's built for October. And clearly Shohei Ohtani is too, because this is 2 years in a row now where he has lived up to the moment when the lights get bright.
It's weird to think about the game that he had last week in the championship series. Which was
Shohei?
Yeah, the 3 home run game, 10 strikeouts, like truly the best sports performance individual maybe we've ever seen, at least in a team sport from an individual. Absolutely.
It might be the greatest non-sporting event I've ever seen, too.
Right.
Just the greatest performance ever.
The Serena stuff and the Michael Phelps stuff. Like, it's hard to compare those to a guy that plays for a team. But just, yeah, from a team game, an individual player, obviously the best game we've ever seen. Not saying he topped it last night, obviously, but the fact that he just had something else so historic last night after already doing that to close out the championship series, to go to the World Series, like, it's truly mind-boggling behavior from Shohei Ohtani.
Even like you go back to, he finds a way to do that in so many different ways. That's the thing that I think makes him so great. Like even you go back to last year, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to steal 40 bags this year. What? This year I'm going to hit 60 bombs. All right. It's like he picks and chooses what he's going to do and how he's going to help his team. And anything he's put his mind to trying to help the team with doing, he has lived up to it. I can't believe you're. Look, I get the logic behind maybe he gets touched up a little bit, but I'm not saying he's going to stink. I'm not going to bet against them.
Are we going to get a 10K 6 scoreless outing from Ohtani tonight? I would go against that.
No, but can we go 6 innings, 6 strikeouts? Like, is that not just as awesome if he gets intentionally walked 3 times too?
That's pretty good.
Like, would you be shocked at all if he gets out of the first inning and then they walk him? First plate appearance. Top of the first inning, no outs.
That's what I was wondering, because when we talked about it in the news, John Schneider said they're going to continue to walk Ohtani. They're going to stick to that identity. What does he mean by that? Does that mean
never gonna pitch to him
does
again?
That mean leadoff hitter, bottom of the first? Yeah, he's getting walked right off the rip, or does that mean we'll give him a couple at-bats, we'll only do it when there's a runner on, and then late in the game we're for sure walking him? Because that would be hilarious if leadoff hitter Shohei Ohtani gets intentionally walked. That would actually be some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. I kind of hope it happens.
I don't hope it happens.
Well,
that
yeah,
would mean the rest of the
rest
of the postseason that we're not getting Ohtani at bats.
Right.
Because if they do it to open up the game today,
that'd be just unreal.
I'd imagine they're just going to do that the rest of
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everyone should do the rest of the time. You can't pitch to him. You know, John Smoltz talked about for 5 minutes during when did he hit his second home run in the 9th? The 8th?
8th, I believe.
Yeah, in the 8th. John Smoltz talked about for 5 minutes when they had a mound meeting. He's like, you can't give this guy a mistake. Like, do not hang the slider. And that's exactly what he did, and Ohtani made him pay for it. Ohtani's one of those guys where he'll make you pay for it 100 out of 100 times if you throw a bad pitch. He's never going to miss on the mistake that a pitcher makes. And that's part of the reason I think he's as special as he is. I think he's the best athlete on the planet, and I'm not sure it's particularly close. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. Let's hit our Tuesday Tower and talk about that Pistons game from last night when we come back here. It is the Ben Bosscher Show. And, of course, you guys can watch us live on YouTube as well. 11 o'clock hour is brought to you, as always, by Yider Insurance. Life happens fast. And at Yider Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yider is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. Yider Insurance Group, they'll be there when you need them since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Since 1940, Yiter Insurance Group has been a trusted friend to generations of your neighbors in the Great Lakes Bay region and across the country. Proudly representing auto owners insurance, we're licensed in nearly every state, so no matter where life takes you, we got you covered. And because we're an independent insurance agent, we don't believe in one size fits all. We work for you to find coverage that fits your life, your family, and your business. That's why families and businesses have relied on Yiter Insurance and auto owners for peace of mind. Yiter Insurance Group, local roots, national reach, and always your friend in the insurance business.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for awards members this month. It's October, so savings on all things spooky. $9.99 for an 100-count Halloween LED light string pack. And get those ghostly vibes with a giant glowing ghost inflatable, $99.99. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And get ahead of the cold. Ace brand winterizer, just $16.99.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the MyPros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins, the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's bring the Tuesday Tower back into the mix here, because although there wasn't a ton of changes in the Tuesday Tower, in fact, there was no changes in the Tuesday Tower the first time that's happened this season, I do think there's some big takeaways from this week's NFL slate in terms of we know who the playoff teams are kind of shaping out to be, at least in the NFC. So the NFC, if you are currently looking at the Tuesday Tower, we've got the Lions in that second tier, and then a whole bunch of teams like Tampa at the bottom. We've got the Rams. We've got the Eagles. And you start to look around, and you start to feel like you know who's going to be coming out of each division. Lions or Packers. You've got Eagles that I think are kind of the lone team. And then you've got basically all three teams in the NFC West that are still alive, could come out of there. Those are kind of the 7 teams that you think are going to be there in the postseason. And then you get into like, I don't know, maybe the Bears can win enough games and be the bad playoff team. Doesn't it kind of feel like there might be one bad playoff team in the NFC, whereas there's going to be 6 good teams? Like we know who 6 playoff teams are of the 7. We just don't know who that 7th team is yet, and that team might just not be good.
So we're just not counting San Francisco as the 7th team right now? It has to be them,
right? That's what I'm saying. Like for now, it is them, but like they might not be that good.
Right.
I'm not all that convinced that San Fran's awesome.
And that's kind of why I bought stock on the Falcons yesterday, because I feel like the Falcons are the 8th team to me, and I think that they are, because there is a bunch of teams that are in the mix. Like you said, the Cowboys, the Bears, the Vikings. The Vikings, I think, might be the team that I'm a little bit like kind of leaning towards as well.
But now there's a clear separation.
Yes, like the 49ers own that 7th spot, and the Falcons own that 8th spot. And then it's everybody else, even with the Commanders still potentially in the mix there. So and Carolina is frisky, I guess you could say. So I believe that I think that the 49ers are, one, they're starting to get healthier. I know Mac Jones has been fine and everything. Brock Purdy is better. And I think that them getting Purdy back will help. Their wide receiver room is getting a little bit healthier with Ricky Pearsall returning. Juwan Jennings is back. Ayuk maybe at some point will play. Kittle obviously is back now. That defense is still really tattered, which is the concern to have with San Francisco. But to me, that's who is the 7th spot. San Francisco. They currently are in it, and I feel pretty good about them, especially with that coaching staff.
Whereas you look out west, or out in the on the AFC is what I meant to say, it could go a handful of different directions. How many teams have been eliminated maybe is the better question in the AFC. We know the Jets aren't making it. We know the Titans aren't making it. We know the Dolphins are not going to be there. We know the Browns aren't going to be there. And we know Vegas isn't going to be there. So there's like 11 teams that are still alive that are fighting for a playoff spot.
There are, but there's some out of those 11 teams, there's a handful of them that I'm like, there's just no way.
Who? Like, who's the number one? I don't believe in this team.
The Bengals are not making the playoffs.
Joe Flacco can't keep them afloat.
I mean, that defense just, like, Flacco and the offense are fine, but, man, that defense just got exposed by Fields.
Yeah.
The guy who was supposed to get benched and got called out by the owner and said, this guy is the reason we haven't won a game.
Maybe a genius play from the owner.
And then he won them a game against that Bengals defense. So, to me, that's one of them. It also just feels like there's not going to be a wild card team from the AFC North as well.
No, definitely not.
Like, whoever sneaks in at 9-8 and wins this division will be the lone playoff team from them.
And I kind of think it's just going to be the 2-5 Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
Who might be, like, pretty good once they get to December. Because, ironically, this has been the regular season team that has fallen apart in January. Maybe it's the opposite this year.
Did you rule off Miami?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think Miami's got a chance.
I agree. And, I mean, like, at this point, it's a guarantee that 3 teams from the West make it, barring any significant injuries, right? Is that a guarantee?
No, I don't think that's a guarantee.
Really? You don't think so?
Because I think you're getting 2 teams.
How?
Because you're getting 2 teams from...
Like, I think your locks for the AFC are, the Patriots, Bills are getting in, the 3 teams from the West are getting in, and then it's like, which one of the Jags, Texans, or Steelers are going to get that final wild card spot? Steelers/Ravens, you know? That's kind of where I'm at. Because I know the Texans, C.J. Stroud did look good or anything. I'm not just going to discount what we've seen the entire season from this team after one game. I definitely do not trust Houston to come back and make this wild card run.
I don't really trust the Jags either.
No, I don't trust
But they're still alive.
Exactly. So
like, I don't think we can just write in 3 teams from the West quite yet because of how many teams are still alive.
I think I can, man.
So we think there's going to be 3 teams from each West division in the NFC and AFC that make the playoffs?
I think it's much more likely the AFC West has 3 playoff teams than the NFC West. I think that's a safe thing to say for me. I think the 3 teams from the AFC West are just better than the 3 teams from the NFC West, too.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
You know? And so if one of San Francisco or even if Seattle just started to have a little bit of a dip, it wouldn't be extremely surprising, whereas I just think Denver, LA, especially Denver now, them being 6-2, they were the team that I had the most question marks about, and they're the best ones. So they seem like a for sure lock to get into the playoffs other than some crazy – I mean, we have a lot of games left. So
they've got the Texans coming up, so they got to go against a pretty good defense on Sunday. Then they get the Raiders, and then that Chiefs game November 16th versus the Broncos. Like Broncos Chiefs in Arrowhead is going – or no, that one's in Denver. That one's going to be very telling.
Right.
Like that one has huge implications on it. But then they get to play the Raiders again.
So does Bills Chiefs this week too. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Because I think the Colts – they still have to play the Chiefs, but if the Chiefs can knock off the Bills this week, I feel pretty comfortable saying that they're going to be the 1 seed.
Really?
I just think they're going to get Indy.
Indianapolis is just going to at some point start to lose some games. They definitely have a tougher stretch coming up. So, I mean, that's fair. I think that is
the
fair.
Chiefs game is in Arrowhead late November. Like, what kind of weather are you getting? I'm going to feel way more comfortable taking the Chiefs at home in that sort of weather, even if it's just cold and there's not any rain. Like, I think the thing that's yet to be determined about the Colts is just, can they play outdoors? It's not that I feel like they'd fall apart, but I don't know. In a really cold January day, if they're in Buffalo or they're in Arrowhead, I feel a lot less comfortable taking Daniel Jones than I would if they were just inside, which I think is why it's important that they should be like gunning for that 1 seed. Every game should be like, they should view it as a Super Bowl for them. That's why they're blowing every team out. Like, they want that 1 seed, and I don't blame them.
Okay, here's the question I'll propose to you. Out of the current playoff teams, or I guess this would technically be out of the non-current playoff teams, what team that is not in the playoff race right now has the best % chance to be in the playoffs? Is it just Baltimore? Is that who you're picking, even though they're 2-5? Because right now, like, at least I'll give you the first couple teams out of the playoff race right now in each division. In the NFC, it's Chicago, Carolina, Dallas, Atlanta, Minnesota. In the AFC, it's Jacksonville, Houston, Cincinnati, Baltimore. Obviously, there's more, but
yeah, I think it's Baltimore.
What team's the most likely to get in? Is it just probably because of the division? Like that outlook is
their schedule
there?
is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 2 games back of the winning the division right now. Yeah,
and their upcoming games, I know we did this yesterday, but their upcoming games are Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals.
Yeah, that's
Steelers. Bengals again. Like, there's a chance that
play
they
the Steelers twice too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Week 18. There's a chance they just get really hot and don't lose a game for quite some time.
Right.
Because look at the way they started the year. It's like Bills, Lions, Chiefs, Rams. Like, those are tough games even if they were healthy, and they weren't healthy. And now they get to play all their cupcakes. I have a hard time believing the Ravens aren't going to be there at the end.
Let's not count them, since theirs is for the divisional perspective of things.
From a wild card standpoint?
From a wild card standpoint, out of those teams, out of Jacksonville, Houston, Cincinnati, and then on the NFC, Chicago, Atlanta, Carolina, Dallas, which team do you think has the best chance, or at least you would pick, to sneak into the playoffs still? Obviously, it's hard because you don't know every team's schedule and everything, but
probably one of the AFC South teams, either the Texans or the Jaguars.
Yeah, that seems
just because I think both
right.
teams have a chance to beat the Colts still.
Yep.
Both those teams have high floors.
I don't think neither of those teams are going to end up being really bad.
No, the Texans off
right around 500 for sure.
The Texas defense will keep them around 500 at worst.
Same with Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's defense not as good as the Texans, but like they have good weapons. I think Travis Hunter's getting better. It feels like they're kind of shifting that to what we maybe thought going into the year of, or
maybe
what
the
fantasy
bye week
owners
can fix Brian Thomas Jr. Hopefully,
I
really hope so.
But Travis Hunter played 88% of the offensive snaps and had 14 targets in London. Like there's a real did they get another weapon here? Or are we just done playing?
We're
him on
getting
defense?
blown out. I don't know if that plays into it a little bit. We'll see.
But even in the first half, he was playing every single snap offensively. Like, and that's kind of what if you're a fantasy owner, like you want to see from him. So I think I'd probably rock the Jags or Texans if you're asking me that question. 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news and do our 2 traditions to close out every show. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh, no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Silent Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with a Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins, the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Lose.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m., thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 989-837-6125. It is time for us to hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, Ben, let's get right back into the news.
Sure.
Starting things off, obviously we've touched on things coming up tonight. Red Wings are back in action tonight with the Blues, 8:15. You got World Series on again tonight. That's at 8. And, of course, we got NBA hoops on tonight. Let's touch on some NBA news. Your boy Lauri Markkanen, who you've been wanting the Pistons to trade for, it's going to be a little bit tougher. He's the first Jazz player to drop 50 points since He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Mr. Malone?
Shout out to Mr. Malone, yes. Lauri Markkanen, we just named him, had 50 points last night. So shout out to the, I forget his nickname. Now I'm trying to think of what his nickname, the Finisher. That's what his nickname is.
I've never heard that.
Because he's from Finland.
Okay. Yeah, this is a guy who the Pistons fans should definitely keep their eyes on for a potential trade target. A little Jaden Ivey plus Tobias Harris plus a couple firsts in exchange for him to bring him in. I think that's something that could plausibly happen at some point this season, depending on what Ivey looks like when he comes back. So not good that he's dropping 50 points because that's only going to drive up his trade value. But that's a guy who's, 7'1", lights out three-point shooter.
7'1" might be a stretch.
Okay, 6'11", 7 foot. I think he still says 7 foot, right?
Might be.
Knockdown three-point shooter from the corner, can do some stuff off the dribble, can create offense, stuff that the Pistons are missing right now. Instant pick and roll, pick and pop, lob threat for Cade. It'd make the Pistons huge to have him, Duran and Stu. I'm getting more and more open to that.
Seems like more teams are doing this huge lineup type stuff too.
Yeah, and to have two guys that could shoot.
He'd be the best shooter on the team, no doubt.
Yeah, you're right.
Volume-wise, I mean, Robinson is obviously probably their best shooter, but
I'm increasingly becoming more interested in that. But if he's going to keep dropping 50 points, price is going to keep going up.
For sure. You don't want to trade Ron Holland in that deal. And
oh, absolutely
they're
not.
probably going to ask for him, so we'll see how that goes. More NBA news. We talked yesterday. Anthony Edwards exited their game this weekend. They give an update on us. He's going to miss 2 weeks. So Anthony Edwards, the star of the Timberwolves, to be out 2 weeks. Luka Doncic is out. So we already got some star players in the league missing some time early.
Tough. Luka's out. Yeah, too many guys out right away. LeBron.
The 76ers, they're 3-0 to start off, and Tyrese Maxey and the rookie VJ Edgecombe have broken a new record, Ben. They've combined for 182 points through the first 3 games. That's the most by any starting backcourt through any team's first 3 games of the season since starters were first tracked in 1970-1971.
Ever?
That's crazy. Ever. Isn't that unreal?
How did Stephen Clay not do that? How did Michael and just anybody else not do that?
Right. Kobe and anybody else.
Yeah, that's wow. How many did you say?
182 points.
Jeez.
Through 3 games.
With a rookie.
With a rookie is one of them. Yeah, I mean, that's like 60 points a game, essentially, split between the two of them. So it's pretty unreal stuff that both of them are doing. They're 3-0. I still think they're frauds, and I sold my stock
They're better than
on
I
them
thought they were
yesterday.
going to be, though. I think they're better than we thought.
But, are they going to continue to average 30 from a rookie? No,
probably
I don't
not.
think so. So we'll keep an eye on that. Last NBA news thing before we get back to football. Well, Cooper Flagg actually got hurt in the game against the Thunder last night, too. Tossed that into the injury news. But we have a slight update, more so just a developing story from this whole NBA Chauncey Billups situation. The U.S. Senate is getting involved. The Senate committee sent a letter to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver yesterday saying that the indictments from the Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones are a matter of, quote, congressional concern, and they are asking for details about the league's approach to investigating potential gambling violations. This comes after there was a story that came out after that the NBA had basically got the alert from FanDuel when the Terry Rozier stuff went down, and they basically just pushed it off to the side. They were like, no, here's his MRI. He actually was hurt in the game that all of his unders got taken in. He's fine. This is nothing. And they blew it away essentially immediately. And then now the U.S. Senate, after the FBI getting involved, think that there is a bit of something going on here with Adam Silver.
Yeah, Adam Silver is his approval ratings taking quite a big hit from, I think, fans. But I think the owners all still really like him, so
he's
not going anywhere.
I mean, he's liked by the owners. I think there's positives and negatives to Adam Silver. I like his creativity and wanting to change things in the league.
What about the fact that he's a lizard man?
Okay.
I'm joking, but
Lizard
he's just a odd. He doesn't seem like he's human. Like we talk about Wemby being an alien, Adam Silver might actually be an alien.
Right. Yeah, he's an odd guy for sure. I think he's done a lot of good for the league. He's also done some questionable things for the league. So we'll see if anything. I mean, the whole gambling thing becoming integrated into the league much more and more is
because of him.
Is part to do with Adam Silver for sure. So we'll keep an update on that. Back to football news. We talked about Carson Wentz. He's out for the year. Lamar Jackson looks like he's coming back Thursday. The Broncos, we're considering them true contenders here in the AFC. Well, it's going to be tough because their defensive player of the year, Pat Surtain, is a candidate for the IR, Ben, with a pec strain suffered in the game against Dallas last week. that is pretty tough. Obviously, one of the best defensive players, for sure the best corner in the NFL, potentially to be out for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, luckily they're getting a ton of sacks, so his life has been pretty easy. But obviously, when you lose a guy who's fresh off of a depoy for a month, not good. And considering that they got to play Kansas City coming up, and Rashee Rice looks like he's becoming one of the best receivers in the NFL again, that's a pretty big hit for Denver.
Yes, that's going to be quite interesting to see how that one goes down. We had a trade at corner yesterday. The Los Angeles Rams acquired cornerback Roger McCreary from the Tennessee Titans with a late-round draft pick swap. Hopefully the Titans are going to look to sell the rest of the roster. I know there's a guy, Arden Key, on their team that you're looking like the Lions want to go get.
I think that'd be a nice addition to the D-line. You bring in a guy who's specifically very good at stopping the run, but also had 6.5 sacks last season. Just to be a plug-and-play guy on the outside, rotate in with Muhammad, maybe once Marcus Davenport's healthy too. But I just don't know what you're getting from Davenport at all. So to bring in a second guy like that, I think would be huge.
Yeah, I think so too. And maybe this is the start of the Titans sell fest. We do have a couple weeks until the NFL trade deadline. Actually, it's a week from today, right?
Yeah, week from today.
Oh, man,
November 4th.
That's actually crazy. Can't wait. Last thing in the news, NFL-wise, Cam Scadaboo, obviously that terrible injury yesterday or Sunday, had surgery yesterday on the dislocated ankle, and apparently it all went well. So good for Cam Scadaboo. Tough injury, man. That was gross.
Disgusting.
Hate to see ones like that. I'm glad to know that the surgery went well for him, though.
All right. There you go. That's the news. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mid. If you're enjoying the show, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Can go a long way, and it only takes just a second for you, so why not do it? Wings in action tonight against the Blues. This Emmett Finney character is turning into one of the hottest names in hockey, Kyle. In terms of the rookies, he's right at the top in terms of points, goals. He leads the team in hits, which the Red Wings just lacked a toughness to him last season. So for him to be able to, bring that toughness while also bringing some offense that the Red Wings just lacked, quite frankly, last season, unless they were in a power play, this has been really fun to see. So I'm trying to find his odds right now to win Rookie of the Year because he is one of these guys that is potentially going to be in the race for that. At the end of the season. Right now, Todd McClellan, 6th in terms of the Jack Adams Award for Coach of the Year. As for Rookie of the Year, I don't see him. That's all right. I'll find out that one out later. Get it to the people. We still got our 2 traditions to get to at some point. Oh, here it is. Calder Trophy. Emmett Finney's right now 6th.
Hey.
So if he can keep this up, he's going to keep rising up that thing. I think they're just not comfortable with the idea of a 7th-round pick winning it, so he still has pretty long odds. But if you believe in this kid, which I don't know why you wouldn't, I would take him at plus 1,600 to win the Calder Trophy. That seems like a good deal. 989-837-6125, the Ben Bosscher Show. As always, in the 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by our friends over at Yiter Insurance. If you've got boring floors, sad showers, Premier Tile and Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks turn tile into art, kitchens, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll tile it beautifully. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $15 an issue. Giant selection of fancy stuff. I'm talking porcelain, ceramic, natural stone, and materials you probably can't even pronounce. But you'll definitely love it. Stop dreaming, start scheming. Visit the showroom and let your interior designer run wild. That's Premier Tile and Stone, where your floors get fabulous and grout gets glorious.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, my mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, my dad would always just, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program. Visit 1009themit.com.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education.
Mm-hmm.
That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Looking for a job can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. But at Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, they've got the magnet. Whether you're looking for steady work in manufacturing, a fresh start in the office, or the right people to grow your business, they make the match simple. Local recruiters, real relationships, and opportunities that fit you. That's the Spherion difference. Find your perfect fit today. Visit Spherion.com/Midland. Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, where opportunity works.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know the pervasive use of technology can lead to digital eye strain, burning or tired eyes, headaches, fatigue, loss of focus, blurred or double vision. Overexposure light from electronic devices may also increase the likelihood of developing serious eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration. To give your eyes a rest, remember 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we gotta run. Get out. Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Is the air in your home dry? Are allergies bothering you? Tired of itchy skin and static everywhere? We have your answer. Answer Heating and Cooling can install a whole home humidifier that keeps your air balanced, your skin comfortable, and your family breathing easier all winter long. Say goodbye to static shocks and hello to comfort. Call Answer Heating and Cooling today or visit AnswerSOS.com. Answer Heating and Cooling, the home of simply outstanding service.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we've got two traditions to close out every single show here on the Ben Bosscher Show. If you're new, welcome in. This is how we like to close things out. The first of those traditions is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Man, we should have bet on Shohei Ohtani hit 2 home runs last night. Ohtani, 1 home run was plus 162. Have you ever seen lower odds for someone to hit a home run?
It was actually plus 146.
Oh, 146?
So even worse.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like that again.
And that's why it's so sketch, because you would think, like, oh, it's plus 146. Why would I, like, that's terrible, like, odds for the user.
It's bad value.
It's bad value to hit a home run. Like, that's a crazy thing to do. But then when you see it's that short, it's like, well, that means he's just going to do it, right?
Hit 2 of them.
It hit. I tailed it. You knocked it in. That's big. It cuts you down to 3.34 units down in the month of October. So you've got 4 days.
I thought I was 3-something yesterday.
You were 4.8 yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. 4.8 yesterday. So you've got the remaining 4 days of this week to try to get up 3.34 units to get back up in the month of October. It's got to be basically a perfect week from you, Ben. You can maybe afford one miss, but then you're going to have to hit a plus bet another day. So today is big. And the rest of the days are big, but off to a good start.
Well, we got another one that's plus chicken today.
Oh, he's trying to remember it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, he's trying to remember it.
You're right. I am trying to remember it. What was it?
This is where you got your plus 168 mess up from. It is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's right.
To score 35 points.
Yeah, they're going up against this Knicks team today.
35. Man, that's a lot of points.
It's over/under 33.5. Like it's
really, and they're giving you plus 168 for just 3 more points.
Well, he was like minus 130 to score 30. So look, they're going up against this Knicks team, which I think people still in their brains think of them as this defensive identity team. That hasn't really been the case for the last year and a half. They've got some good wing defenders, none of which can hang with
Mitchell Robinson. Who knows if he's ever going to play?
Sure, but
he's their only good rim protector.
None of these guys can hang there with Giannis, and Giannis seems like he's on a pretty big mission this season. It's him and a bunch of role guys. So he's, in terms of volume, in terms of shots put up, in terms of usage percentage, it's all up there. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw some career-high numbers in terms of just the pure statistics that he puts up, the raw numbers. And going up against the Knicks team, which he's been rumored to be going to for years now, I think this is kind of a, hey, I want to let everyone know in the Garden that this is still my Eastern Conference. I'm still one of the best players in the NBA. You guys can talk about Wemby all you want. I'm still here. I've done it. I've been here in the Garden, superstar shine, and I think Giannis, 35 might even be a little bit low today. I think he goes at this Knicks team pretty good, and I don't think they have an answer to him. So I think this is going to be a close game. No threat of somebody getting taken out early on. Give me Giannis 35. I think he has closer to 40. I think he has a huge game tonight.
I will say this game is in Milwaukee.
Oh, God.
I don't know if that changes your thought process here.
I feel stupid.
It's at home for the Bucks.
No, it doesn't change my thought process, but it's still against this Knicks team.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis is averaging 36 a game through 3 games this year. So.
Yes. And I think going up against the Knicks is all but more motivation for him to keep going against them. I also just don't think they have anyone to really slow them down.
What, Ariel Huck-Porty's not getting it done for you?
No, I don't think so. So I will be taking Giannis 35+.
You know what? I'm going to tail this. I like it mainly because I like to root against the New York Knicks. So Giannis scoring a bunch of points means probably bad for the Knicks. This game's on NBC at 8 p.m., by the way, so you'll be able to watch it. I'm excited.
A little more Peacock coverage. Yeah, first time Giannis is on national TV this year.
Yep.
Took a little too long to get him on there, but small market, no
and
co-star.
And the team just kind of stinks, too. Like,
do they?
I mean,
I think they might be a little bit
better.
better.
They're going to be fine. I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but they're not some, like, world beater.
But I don't know. Orlando looks bad. The Hawks don't look very good. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks ended up being a top 5 seed again.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I guess you're right.
The East is just so open that it's like if you have the best player in the conference, that's probably going to get you the home court advantage. Like they could just easily be a top 4 seed. There's only 2 teams that I think are like better than them, and that one of them's the Knicks. I just don't think the Knicks really have an answer for him. It's just a matter of who else can step up on this team. So I got Giannis 35 points today. What'd you say? Plus 168. Yep. So chance to get back into it before Halloween on Friday. We haven't really mentioned Halloween at all this week.
Oh,
I was listening to Colin's show. He had some spooky outro
spooky
music. I'm not a big Halloween guy. I'm just not sure what a person at 23 years old is supposed to do on Halloween. You know?
Eat candy? I don't know.
I'm not a big candy guy.
Me either.
I'd much rather just have a bag of chips.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way, actually.
I'd rather have a salty snack.
Yeah, me too.
Or just like a big old chicken sandwich.
I'm a chocolate candy over sweet candy guy, too. Sweet candies are just kind of whatever. I'm a chocolate candy guy.
How about this? Friday?
Oh, I'm dressing up, by the way.
You are?
Of course I am. It's Halloween, man.
I will not be doing that.
I know you're not, and that's why I am.
What are you going to be wearing?
You'll see.
Okay. How about this? Me and you, Friday, do a candy draft.
Yes, of course. But it's a Halloween candy draft.
What candy isn't a candy
But like
draft?
I'm saying, on Halloween, you're getting it on Halloween. It's not like
so can we be like ultra specific?
I think that's like you are walking up to the door trick or treating, and you're picking out and they have this candy there. That's what we're drafting.
Remember when you were a kid and you knew the one house that always had the king size stuff?
Oh.
But you had to go to that house early, otherwise they were going to be out because everyone kind of knew.
Or like when you pulled up to the house and there was nobody there and they just had like the bucket sitting there on the thing.
Where you would take one person?
It didn't even say, please take one. It was just sitting there.
See, if it did say, please take one, would you obey by the rules?
Yeah, of course. I mean, also I'm a kid and my parents are sitting at the end of the driveway. Like, they're going to notice if I am taking more than one, probably.
See, that peak age, I think, for trick-or-treating was like when you were old enough to go without your parents, but you were still doing it.
Right, when you were like 12.
Yeah, like
10.
Basically the end of middle school, right?
Right.
That's probably when. Middle school, I guess. That was the best time because then you could get away with it. I think I'm going to take 2 pieces of candy here.
Right.
Yeah. I think my last year of trick-or-treating, I don't think I actually had a costume. And there's a few people that actually just like were like, no, you don't
What's your
get
favorite
candy.
Do you have a favorite costume you remember? When you were a kid, like it was like a creative costume? Or just one you liked to wear?
I think I was a Power Ranger upwards of 5 times.
That's a good one. It's a classic.
I can't really recall any other ones off the top of my head right now. I think I was a pirate one year. Was a football player one year.
I was a Wii remote one year. Like a huge cardboard box Wii remote. It was kind of crazy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We have another tradition to close out every show.
Wait, what was that?
Our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Colin Cowherd takes over our airwaves at noon with the Herd. What's he going to open with? I'm on a little bit of a heater here.
I'm just going to ask you what he's going to open with, Ben, because you've gotten 4 days in a row. Man, I cut the lead all the way down to 1.
It's 2 days of Chauncey. It was one of, what did I get yesterday?
2 days of Chauncey, and then you hit someday before that, and then yesterday it was whatever the Sunday game was. Packers-Rodgers. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I just...
What would it have been Wednesday? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But, yeah,
it was Houston
fumbled
Rockets.
yesterday.
It was Houston Rockets.
Yes.
That's what it was.
I fumbled yesterday. I picked Bo Nix, and I kind of completely forgot about the Sunday night game. I just thought he was going to go to the Broncos and Bo Nix. I think there's 2 good options today, by the way. So I don't mind going second today, but you are first. It's 27-22 for those people listening on 100.9 The Mitt, not on YouTube.
All right, if I'm going first, I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs are a super team. Like, Rashee Rice is back. This team's not going anywhere. You guys tried to write them off. This is the best team in the NFL. It's basically the same Open we got a couple weeks ago when they were on a primetime game.
Right. See, I actually think that this would have been my second pick if I went first day because of how boring that game was, and they were already big favorites, and nothing crazy happened in it. So I will go with Ohtani Dodgers walk-off Freeman. I think baseball lead is the pick today.
What am I thinking?
But it is Chiefs Monday Night Football. I think it was two good picks. But I think that the baseball one trumps it today. Colin obviously is the football guy over baseball, of course. But I think that's what it is today.
No, it's 1,000% Ohtani and
I don't think
Freddie
it's 1,000%.
It is 1,000% Ohtani.
I also
and Freddie
I'm on ESPN to double check there wasn't anything I'm missing, and we have an Aroldis Chapman quote that says, "I'd rather retire than play for the Yankees again." Okay.
That's really good. Yeah. I think you're going to get a point here.
I don't think it's a lock, by the way. I don't want you to do this whole, no,
I think you're getting a point, man.
Wrong thing.
I think you're getting a point.
I sure hope so.
We had an 18-inning World Series game. He's not going to open with anything else. We opened with it, for crying out loud.
Right.
All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in today. Fun show. We will be back tomorrow. Red Wings in action tonight, which means we got a lot to get to. Still got to preview a lot of this Lions-Vikings game. Oh, it's Big Win Wednesday tomorrow, which means we're sending someone back to East Lansing for the Penn State versus Michigan State game coming up here in a couple of weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. So, fun show tomorrow. Be there at 9 a.m. Subscribe.